She can say one sentence 6 different ways and still say nothing. She's unburdened by what has been, mostly because she never explained what it was in the first place. She laughs before she answers a question, and sometimes that's the whole answer. She starts by saying, "Let me be clear," and then isn't, and somehow circles back to, "Let me be clear." She says moving forward so often, her podium is on wheels. She talks about the significance of the passage of time, so long you actually feel it passing. She once defined time by saying it's the thing that passes over time. Her teleprompter doesn't scroll, it just loops the same line until everyone forgets the question. She once gave a speech about the importance of speeches. She once said, holistically, so many times in one speech the audience reached enlightenment. Her laugh comes out at the exact moment everyone else stops laughing. She preaches that it's time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. She once explained water for 12 minutes straight. She once explained school buses to a room full of bus drivers, and the only thing they understood is that they are big and yellow. She leaves people more confused than before she started talking. Her speeches are so repetitive. After she's done with a campaign, every parrot in town can recite them. She can redefine a word 6 times before anyone realizes she never defined it. She only answers pre-scripted questions, and if someone dares to ask a real question,
this is so long!
She starts laughing until someone comes and saves her. Her press conferences end with reporters forgetting what they even asked. She once explained democracy as the thing we do when we do democracy.
This is overdone.
When she runs out of things to say, she'll talk about how she just fell out of a coconut tree. She laughs the hardest right after saying the least. She is the most word salad woman in the world.
Okay. Could have done better than that. We could have done better. That's on me. I would try to blame someone else, but it's very, very hard when I'm the one sharing the video, going through what's being shared here. It's very, very hard for me to figure out who else I could possibly blame. That was not worthy of a start of a Good Lawgic stream. That's on me. I want you just take that. That's on me. I apologize. I apologize. That wasn't worthy. And there's really no one else I can blame. I'm accepting mea culpa, full responsibility. It's a terrible sign for how well this stream is going to go. It really is. You should just turn off now. You should just turn off because it's only going downhill. It started bad and it's only going downhill. And that's because tonight, of course, I'm joined by Sin. How are you?
I'm good, man. Let's play it again. Let's do it. All right, I got an idea. This you're gonna get tons of super chats. Just put it on a loop for 2 hours.
Oh, shut up.
It was. I thought it was perfect. I thought it was just the right amount of Kamala. Right?
No, it wasn't.
I thought they missed a few of her statements that she made, and we needed more. Personally, I'm left wanting more. What are you doing?
One or two more. I always put a goal up in YouTube land, right? Which applies to the ghetto also. Tonight's goal is 15 super chats of $10 a yellow or higher in the next 2 hours. That means we keep Sin for next week.
Well, it was good knowing you guys. All right.
You're fine. You'll be in the clear. Every time I feel like I'm like the Dread Pirate Roberts.
Yeah.
I'm like, good night, Sin.
You're just trying. I feel like
I'll probably kill you. I'll probably kill you in the morning.
You're just trying to get me to super chat while on the show is what it is.
Yes.
I got it. I get it. I got to pay to be
That's
here. I say. Now I get the rules. Okay. Oh. All right, chat. Save me, please.
All right. Well, anyhow, tonight's main topics. And one of the reasons I'm glad to have you on here is because I was reading through some of the Comey stuff. You heard of James Comey, right?
Yes.
Right. So former FBI director, now under indictment for perjury. And what's so funny?
It just always happens. These guys always do something dumb. So
yeah. So he's been indicted for perjury that he lied to Congress.
Yeah.
And that's what he's dealing with right now. And that case is proceeding in Virginia. And there's all sorts of legal machinations that are going on, which even when I read it, I was like, huh?
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know how anyone who's not an attorney would be able to figure this stuff out. I mean, some of it, I think, the shrewder elements in the world, which all of them populate and propagate in my chat.
Yeah, every one of them. I mean, I think so. They should be running the show after that intro.
They should. What the hell? And then you wonder why I put your head on the block.
Hey, so, what do you want me to do here?
Right. So, so I figure if I struggle to understand some of it, then probably most folks do. That's probably so. What I want to do is I want to try to help everyone understand what's going on, because some of the tactics that he's employing are very snaky, and we're also seeing things happening from the court, which people are saying is unusual and it's TDS. And if you're just reading it and you're like, I don't even understand what the hell is happening here in the court. Like when I read it, I was like, seriously, I was like, huh? What is the situation that they're dealing with here, and why is this so outrageous what the judge is doing? So I did piece through it, and I did see like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here.
How many times did you ask Grok to help you with it?
Nick's on with Camelot. May have a show tonight. Oh, okay, that's nice. All right.
All right.
That's okay.
That's fine, right?
I think I have much less crossover with Nick in 2025 than I did in 2023. There's like much less crossover.
I think you got a little crossover with Legal Mindset though, because I did do a stream on him and lost 5 subs after watching his stream.
You lost 5 subs after watching Legal Mindset. What is that?
Yeah, he had a crash out stream that he ended up deleting that I found and covered on my show on Monday.
He crashed out. He did a stream on Monday that he had to crash out.
Yeah, he did a whole thing about Antifa is after him. He thinks they're stalking him at a local Starbucks over his opinion on Hassan Piker. It was so bad he deleted it, and I had to find it elsewhere in order to play it. It was bad. It was real bad. You should watch it. I'll send you the link sometime. It was whew.
Yeah. I probably should.
I'm telling you should. It is. There was 10 minutes of it where he was talking about Mudang, that little baby hippopotamus, being his daughter, and why it's wearing a hat behind him.
Okay.
I swear it was.
Why did you say that I should watch it?
I just think you should watch it. I think you would enjoy it. I think you would get a chuckle out of it. He was talking about how slavery is legal in the United States and how we should be putting shock collars on people. I swear. You should check out my streams on Monday. We talk about some wild stuff, and this was one of them.
I think Sin's just trying to get me to sub to him.
You should.
If you give me the link, I'll put it in the description and in the chat so that we can finally get you over 1,000. What are you at now, anyway?
Yeah. But no, it was great. You really should watch it though. It was a very entertaining stream. Like I said, he got so embarrassed by it, he deleted it, and took me 2 days to find it.
See, I might end up watching it privately.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying you should watch it on the stream.
Right. I wouldn't watch it on air. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like that's not something I would do just because I'm not
Well, you could cover the legal analysis of slavery and shot collars in the United States. That's what he did. That's what he was. That's what he was talking about.
Yikes.
It was great.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's been a minute since I've sat down with Legal Mindset. So I don't
I
know
think
where.
he's doing fine.
Yeah, there you go.
I think
Good.
he's doing. I think he's
wish
doing
him
great.
nothing but the best.
Yeah, I think he's doing fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's FF. They put the dots in there also.
I had to, man. I had
and
to.
you put 2 dots, not 3.
Yeah, don't ask me. Okay.
Then you wonder why people don't find you.
Well, yeah, it is hard when people are like, "Wait, what is it?" And I tell them,
No,
like,
it's only 2 dots. It's not after dot after the S.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So I'm just gonna put. See if you. I'll make it a challenge for my audience. You can find and
don't make it a challenge. Why are you doing that? Why are you can just put it?
here.
You can just put it in the chat. Why are you doing this now?
I put it in the description. I'm gonna put it in. I'll put it in.
Yeah,
Rumble
we're
also.
120 subs away from getting super chats. So
Oh, you're at 880.
No. You get super chats now at 500 subs.
Really?
And then
We
you
have
get
to get you over
monetized
1,000.
by 1,000.
I feel I'm a little disappointed that I haven't gotten you much close. I haven't gotten you past 500.
Yeah,
I'm very disappointed by that.
We're a young channel, man, and plus we talk all kinds of crazy stuff. It just depends on what the news of the week is. So I am dragging my co-host to more politics stuff because they are very layman. Like they don't talk about it at all. So getting their opinions on things is very entertaining, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, at least there's some reason to get there. AI indicates lack of intelligence. Prove me wrong.
True.
Probably true. It's probably true. So, all right. So I wanted to cover basically this and explain to my audience. I usually try to give a little preview of what's coming up in this show. So I want to try and explain to you what's actually happening in the Comey prosecution and how that is proceeding and some of this really shady tactics that this guy is trying to use in order to snake around past these charges, which I know Nate the lawyer says that these charges are BS. I did not find them to be BS. I think that they're politically motivated. That probably, yeah, they're politically motivated, but that doesn't mean that the charges are illegitimate. That's different. It's different. Those are like something can be politically motivated and so desperate and be illegitimately like stupid charges. But this, I think, is politically motivated. I think they probably have something there. Some of the claims about what he said when I covered it were stronger than others. There's also a lot happening in the election world that I want to share with you, and I just had like a ton of stories that I just wanted to break down and give perspectives on. Stories like this. I just want to. I'm going to share a video with you. Okay, I'm going to share a video with you and pick your brain, like your thoughts about this before we get on into it. Okay, so this is. Hopefully you'll be able to have audio and it's not going to be all messed up. I don't know, but Barack Obama posted. Are you messed up?
It is.
Why?
You just go ahead and I'll mute.
But I need.
I don't know, man. You're supposed to figure it out last week.
We were supposed to figure that out. Echo again. That's what Paulie's telling me. Echo again. Okay. All right. Definitely going to need to find a way around that. What if I were to try muting? If I can mute this thumbnail tab, is there a way to mute? How do I mute this tab? Don't tell me. I'm keen to guess. There's definitely a way I can do that. All right, let's try it this way.
Okay.
Try talking.
See, I'm hearing 3 of me. Oh no, there we go. You
Yeah, I
figured it
don't
out.
get you when I do this. So that's not
Uh,
good. That's not good. I'm just muting myself. So because I need to hear you through here. All right. Mute from the tab on the top. That's what someone's telling me. Mute from the tab on the top. If I mute, but if I mute this window, I'm not going to hear you when you talk to me. That's the problem.
well, you had changed something.
I didn't change anything.
You said you had changed the way you were watching videos last week. I don't know, man. That's your computer. I'm not
All right, I know what to do. I know what to do. I don't want to do it because it's going to be very annoying to have to do this. It's going to be very, very annoying.
Is it?
No, it really is, because it means each one I'm going to have to present.
You should be doing that anyway.
No, I present the screen.
Okay.
I present the screen, not presenting the actual tab.
I see how you do it. Yeah.
Now
I like the tab. I like presenting the tab better anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the way I do it on my show. I see how you're doing. I don't know why it's doing that then.
Yeah. It's annoying. It's annoying. All right. Now you should be fine.
Gotcha.
Are you fine?
Check.
Are you still whining? You good?
You know what? All right.
So much that I have to do. There's so much effort involved in you. I
You
just
know what?
wanted to
quit.
cover
I'll
a
call
simple
Jim.
story here.
Jim Satala can come on and he can
I don't know with Jim. I never had this problem. You're telling me it's a me thing. I never had this problem with Jim.
I've never had it on any other streams. I've been on 4 this week promoting you, trying to get you new subscribers.
All right, here we go. All right. We have just over 2 weeks to pass Prop 50. And when we do, it'll send a message of hope across the country that change is possible if we do the work. He's so good at saying nothing. What kind of change? What is he even talking about?
We weed up over there. I love Obama. He's very entertaining to watch, even if he's a dummy.
Yeah, let's listen to him.
There's a broader principle at stake that has to do with whether or not our democracy can be manipulated by those who are already in power to entrench themselves further, or whether we're going to have a system that allows the people to decide who's going to represent them. And we're going to continue this extraordinary experiment that is about to be 250 years old. So, as Gavin said, the only way this works, though, is if we have folks on the ground who are doing the work. We can have terrific leadership. We can have wonderful elected officials who have good ideas and want to move things forward, but none of that will make a difference unless we are able to reach millions of people. And the best way to reach them is through the work that you're doing.
What work?
So,
who are you talking about? What are you talking about?
I can't stop looking at his eyebrows. I think he dyes them.
The effort that you're putting in, the hard work that you're putting in. To make sure that Prop 50 passes.
What is Prop 50?
And
you don't need to know, just pass
when it passes, I am confident that that's going to send a message of hope across the country.
It's like he doesn't even tell you what Prop 50 is.
He doesn't need to. He never has, right? Like, I fell for the Obama trick when I was 18, I believe.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
I did. My family had a well-ran business that did remodeling of gas stations, and they said, "Hey, this Obamacare is going to destroy us because the way our employees are," and it destroyed their business. And I've never looked at the Democrats since then. So,
right.
But I fell for the hope change.
I want to be clear. I know what Prop 50 is. I'll explain to you all before we're done here what Prop 50 is. I'm simply pointing out he is telling you vote for it, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. Just you have to go out there and vote for it.
My question is, do you think he knows what Prop 50 is?
No, I think he does. I suspect he does. I don't think he's that kind of stupid. But I mean, Prop 50, for those of you who are unfamiliar, is a proposition that's being promoted in California, whereby they have a current system as to how they do their gerrymandering and how they draw up their districts in California to try and gerrymander. And basically, they're saying since Texas, now California has a set of rules as to that they're constitutionally bound to follow those rules when it comes to drawing up, which includes having an independent commission, which purportedly is not that independent. It's already very left-leaning, but that they're the independent ones who are supposed to be making the jurisdictions fair. Gavin Newsom is of the opinion that if this was being handled by his very heavily Democrat-tilted legislature, that they can do a more effective job of gerrymandering and get themselves up to 5 more seats in the House. So he basically said, hey, look, I want to be able to gerrymander myself, not have to go through this independent commission because they're not biased enough in the Democrats' favor. And we want to be able to set up that way and do that in order to make things fairer because Texas redistricted. This is such a disingenuous point. This is not at all about democracy. This is about democratic power. It's not about what they call democracy, which is the stupidest thing in the world to be screaming and worrying about. But even if you believe in that, even if you believe it's something to worry about, that's not at all what this is. Texas, when they drew up new jurisdiction, they had to by law. People were outraged that Texas, how are you drawing up new lines? How are you drawing up new lines? You're supposed to be doing this only near, at the beginning of a new, after you do your census. So in 2021, in 2031, 2041, and 42, that's when you draw up your new districts. You don't do it in 2025. So that's why the left is, supposedly that's the basis of their outrage. But the reason that Texas drew up their new lines is because there was a circuit decision by the Fifth Circuit, which basically said that the way that they drew up their lines was based on the Voting Rights Act of 1965. I think it's 1965. So the Voting Rights Act of 1965, back then you have to realize that there was genuine racism, and especially down south, as opposed to today when there's comical, oh my God, that's totally not racism. And what we had was in the Voting Rights Act, they said, okay, because of all this racism, we're very concerned that they're going to gerrymander, that you'll have an area of a state that is mostly minority X. And in order to keep them from getting, I will call a spade. Please don't take that as being a racist statement when I follow up with saying that
I'm currently filing a report on YouTube right now, so don't worry about it. I just walked into that pile of doo-doo. You did, right?
And I'm tracking it all over the floor and be like, oh my God, is it over there also? Oh my God, it's over there.
And you're now telling us not to worry about it,
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Don't look
anyway, yeah. So it was about protecting Black people. And the idea was that they were like, we're not going to get any Black legislators, even though you might have an area which is 60% Black, but because you carve them up into little pieces, that the Black candidate won't win.
Yes.
So, and because you basically put some of them over here and some over there, so that no Black candidates will win. That was the real concern in 1965. And it was a good faith concern that they had, because that was what was likely what was happening. So they said that if you have an area that is a majority of them are of a minority, so it's called they have
majority
to have
of them a minority. That's a tongue twister.
So they have to have their own jurisdiction, their own voting jurisdiction, where they remain the majority in that area. You can't carve them out. And if you don't give that, and that's by law, it's a federal statute that each state has to draw up their the jurisdictions that way. So it's called it's a special district, and it's specifically called a special majority minority district.
Sounds like a rap song.
Right. Okay, good. Fine. But you're with me so far.
I'm with you. I'm there. Yeah.
Okay, so that's called a special district or a special majority minority district. Over time, because there was actually a case which came up which said, well, what happens if you have an area that's not majority Black, but it's 30% Black, 35% Hispanic? They tend to vote both as Democrats, and 35% white. So should that be considered collectively? We'll take the Hispanic, we'll take the Latino vote, and we'll take the black vote, merge them all together into one, and now say they deserve this special district. And that case in the Fifth Circuit said yes. That was back in like the 1980s. Well, in 2023, that case was overturned. So what you had here is you had all these different districts which did not technically qualify under what the 1965 Voting Rights Act said, but by case law in the Fifth Circuit was understood that is what the act demands. The act demands a special district if you have an area which has a conglomerate, a collective of minorities that they collectively form the majority. So Texas, which has a lot of these different communities living in proximity to each other, in order to comply with the statute as interpreted by case law, created these special districts and basically gave Democrats they gave them this special districts, which gave extra houses, that gave extra seats to Democrats, because let's face it, they vote Democrat, gave extra seats to Democrats in the House. Well, in 2023, the Fifth Circuit overturned that 1980s case. And they said, no. You cannot take from minority A and then from minority B and say, well, collectively they vote this way, and now create a special district. That's actually being racist against white people. That you're basically saying, oh, well, they're minority, and we're going to just count them all as one. You cannot do that. Because that's now basically pretending that white people don't count at all. So they said that's basically racism to do that, and it is. So they basically overturned that 1980s case. That means that what that meant as a result of that decision, and this is something Harmeet Dillon brought up, that meant because of that decision, these special districts that were in Texas were illegal.
Yeah.
So they had to redraw these districts. That's what that, and if you might recall that you had all of the the march out of the people because they didn't like the way the districts are being redrawn. So you had the march out of the legislature, and they ran away to Illinois, and Pritzker said, come stay with me, and all this other stuff that was happening several months back. And that's when Gavin Newsom started saying, well, if you're going to redraw, because they realize that they're likely to lose 5 to 6 seats in the House, we're going to, or at least a handful of them, we're going to basically try and redo things here in California. But it's not like they had a choice. They had to redraw it. Yeah. I mean, by law, they had to redraw it. So now the Democrats are like, well, it's only fair. What do you mean it's only fair? You weren't supposed to have these districts in the first place. You never should have had them. Just because they were wrongly interpreted in the 1980s, you had them for the last 40 years improperly. Basically, it was racism the entire time. So just because it was only recognized in 2023 doesn't mean it wasn't racist for the last 40 years beforehand, when they started merging these different minorities and said, we're going to add them all together. I mean, that was always racist against white people. It's just that, that's
you can't be racist against white people, remember?
Yeah.
You're not allowed to.
Yeah. Apparently, it's not that you're not allowed to. There's no such thing, right? It's all
exactly. It doesn't exist. It's imaginary. It's made up. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying, there's certain neighborhoods I'm not gonna go into because of the imaginary racism.
Right. The imaginary. Yes.
It doesn't exist if I walk through those neighborhoods, right?
Right. Speaking of which, I'm glad we're touching on this. I didn't mean to walk in here, but
you might as well. You already stepped in at the beginning of the segment. What are you doing?
You opened the door. It's only downhill from here.
All right, you did this.
I did. Anyway, so yeah, so now in order to have the authority, the legal authority to change in California, they need to change their constitution. In order to do that, they have to have a vote by the public, which they now is called Proposition 50, that's designed to basically say, are you okay with the legislature taking over our jurisdictions? And that's the way we're going to do it going forward, and basically abolishing that special committee they had for setting up jurisdictions in California.
Okay.
So so that's what Prop 50 is all about. And it's their way of trying to lash back at Texas. But Texas doesn't deserve any lashing back. And already in California, there are Trump garnered something like, I don't know, 40% of the votes, and they only have roughly like 18% representation in the House. So they're already, and the result of this would be that that instead there'd be like 9% of the House members from California would be Republican instead of being like 18%. That's essentially what's happening here. So they already are screwing over Republicans hard to make sure that they're not getting the representation that they probably should be getting from California. And they're like, no, it's not hard enough because what's happening in Texas. We need to like try and twist that orange and squeeze it a little bit harder. So, but my question to you is this: do you think Barack Obama coming out and shilling and selling for something politically is like that's a win for Democrats? Like that's, oh, now you got it.
They think so, right? But after his stuff with Kamala, I don't know if his brand is as hot as it used to be, right? I don't think the hope and change.
It's not just Kamala. It's not. I mean, when you're right. They brought him out there hard on behalf of Kamala. I mean, hard.
He was doing more campaigning than she was. So
I mean, it was close. He was out there like busting his tail for Kamala. And you see what an utter fail that was. That's not the first time he was an utter fail. If you look back historically at different candidates that he's been supporting, they tend to bring him in there as like a desperation, like, oh my God, we really need to get this to bring this home. So let's bring out Barack Obama. And I think pretty often the dude has been a fail. He was a fail for Hillary. He was a fail for Joe Biden. Not that the votes actually show that. Not that the ballots that they decide to count show that. But but the guy but in certain senatorial races and things of that nature, I think
they failed over the past 4 years, haven't they?
He's got a very poor track record. He is of success, that when he pushes for something, that it's actually going to succeed. I actually assumed, based on the way they count the votes in California, that there was little chance that Proposition 50 would fail, because there was all sorts of questions. The way they set up the ballots there was that if you marked off you marked off no or something like that, that you could see through the ballot that's what they voted.
Wait, what? Hold on.
So you can just say like, oh, okay, that goes in the garbage. I mean, I'm not saying that's what's happening. But it makes it very easy to just be like, okay, this one's lost. This one's lost. This one's lost. So, I mean, what the hell is that? What the heck is that? It's, now it's going through all these different hands, and any one of which, whatever hands it's going through, now everyone's knowing how the person voted as soon as they see it. So
they don't care out there, man. It's the Wild West, like literally. Back to Obama's brand, though. I don't think he holds as much water as he used to, because it was my generation that would be the voters that would really sort of remember him now and sort of push for him. And most of us got our stomachs turned on him. You know what I mean? Like,
so you think he hurt his brand in the 2024 election?
Yes, I think so. I think he hurt his brand way before that, when it came out with like all the drone striking he was doing, when people were really starting to have to deal with Obamacare. And you got to remember, I was 18 or something like that whenever he first came into office, and insurance was dirt cheap. And by the time he was out of office, you could barely afford it. So we saw the change when all that happened. And these younger kids, these Zoomers or whatever, they weren't around for the hope, change, Obama, curing racism, all that stuff that was supposed to happen. So his brand isn't as hot with them, and he's burned it with the millennials.
Interesting. So. I have a deep animus for Barack Obama.
Yeah, I know you were talking about spades and stuff earlier in the stream. So,
what the heck? What is that? bring you in here for that? That was really, dude, lines, boundaries. No, I the guy personally.
Gotcha.
I have you heard me talk about Barack Obama? I don't know what I've
No,
told you
not
about
really. Not a whole lot. Most of the stuff I've tuned into was like your Kamala rants and things like that. So
Yeah, Barack Obama is single-handedly the most significant person on the planet for destroying the United States of America.
oh, I agree. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, it's
Yes.
not even close.
Yeah.
I mean, Biden was the most corrupt president we've ever had, but as far as the most divisive individual in the history of this country, and I'm talking like you can look back the entire 250 years, there is no person who has done more to destroy this country than Barack Obama, and it's not close. It's hands down, because all of the animus that we feel today, all of the hatred, all of the burning of the, my yesterday show, I was talking about how they destroyed Hitler. As far as it being like a negative word, I forgot to even talk about yesterday how it's not just that they destroyed it, like they basically created a culture where embracing Hitler is edgy and cool because they overuse the word so much, and all of this stuff is traceable to Barack Obama, every bit of it, because before Barack Obama, before he came in there, basically saying, some folks just aren't comfortable with with people who look a little different from them. So, but we were founded on immigration. That's what this country's all about. So basically implying that the reason you're against illegal aliens is because you're a racist.
Of skin tone. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Got nothing to do with what they're sucking out of the country, what they're doing to everything across the board. No.
With housing, the economy, our healthcare, nothing to do with the security issues, the increases in crime, the drugs, the fentanyl crisis, nothing to do with any of that. It's just you hate black people.
That's not to mention like sex trafficking. You know what I mean?
He never would say they're racist. He never would say that because he was a surgeon with his words, and he would just sort of be a scalpel. But everyone who's listening to him would just be like, oh my God, yeah, he's right, they're racist. He would never say it, but he was a messianic figure. And he bred so much hatred. There was we were told before he came in that if we finally have a black president, that's the end of the racial divide forever. And he actually went out of his way to make it worse. When we had those Ferguson riots, if he would have gone down there and said, hey, I'm on this, he would have flown in there on his Air Force One or Chopper One, or whatever they call the president's helicopter, and landed on the streets of Ferguson and basically said, look, you're right. We got sorts of issues here with our criminal justice system. I'm on it. We're going to fix it. Those riots end. But he wanted those riots. He was happy about those riots. He was pleased with those riots. It was suiting his agenda, because the more racial animus there is, the more votes Democrats get. So he was totally thrilled to have that. The whole nature of the tone of Hillary saying they're, calling them all the racist, misogynist, homophobes, transphobes, not even transphobes, because in 2016, no one was
trans people weren't a big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, the Islamophobes, all of that language, which she called the basket of deplorables, that's not something anyone would have thought to say 8 years earlier. But because Barack Obama had been seeding that notion to his followers, she knew it would resonate with her followers, because they all believed in messianic Barack Obama. And if he told them that, hey, the reason that they're voting against me, the reason they're obstructing my ridiculously stupid, crazy socialist policies is because, well, they're kind of not so comfortable with black people. So, and that's the reason that they're doing it. So they're all like, oh yeah, they're all racists.
How many people?
You don't negotiate with racists, because racists are evil. I wouldn't negotiate with racists. I wouldn't be like, oh, okay, let's try to work together with them, because they're evil. Yeah. So what do you do with them? You basically say, we need to obliterate these people. We need to do everything in our power to try and get rid of them. So you're creating and stoking genuine. It's not a matter of like, oh, okay, you're for abortion, I'm against abortion. It's like, no, you're against me because you're evil. Because you're an evil human being. You despise the underprivileged, and you're a terrible person, and I'm not working with you because I'm not evil, and I would have to be evil to work with an evil person. That is all. So the entire culture of what we are feeling today in 2025 and have been feeling for several years now, people want to try and pin that on Trump being divisive. No, the reason for the attacks on Trump in the way that they have come, despite the fact that this is a guy who was lauded by the NAACP as being Mr. White Man who's good to the black people, and all of a sudden he comes in and he's the racist. I mean, after decades and decades of being out in the public limelight and being lauded by the likes of Al Sharpton, and all of a sudden, the day he comes down that escalator, boom, he's a racist.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that sings and sells is because Barack Obama was planting and hammering that seed home insidiously without ever saying that they are, but using words and language to just sort of come to conclusions. The reason they're against me is because some folks aren't comfortable with the black president. I don't look like the people on money. Hey, you didn't build that, and all these different little insinuations that the other side is not motivated by anything in good faith, but that they're terrible, 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 terrible human beings, makes you, as a follower, as an advocate, a believer on, oh my God, Obama is the hero, makes you think that everyone who's against Obama is purely evil. And he did it for his own power. He did it because he was so incompetent as far as how to actually work with anyone on the other side of the aisle. And that's why he basically was like, well, you can't blame me. I did nothing the last 4 years of my presidency, last 6 years of my presidency, because I was being obstructed. No, you obstructed because you came forward with stupid policies, and instead you basically came out and pretended that half of the country was evil racists. And that opens up the doorway for Biden to come out and say, hey, anyone who's supporting Trump now, they are the biggest threat to America. All of this hatred in this country right now is birthed and fostered and nurtured by that jackass Barack Obama. He is the most evil, destructive person in the history of this country. And I challenge you, defy you to find anyone whose impact on this country has been nearly as negative as far as creating a permanent cultural, social divide the way Barack Obama has.
I agree. 100%. I do have a question though. How many of those people do you think don't actually believe in that mission statement, but they believe they look at it and go, well, I don't want to be a racist. They don't care anything about Democrats, but they're doing it out of pure shame. And now they've sort of bought into it because they're going, I don't want to be a racist. I don't want to be a transphobe now in our modern day, all this other stuff. And so they're just going with the line.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's a peer pressure thing, because now if you're a college kid and all the idiots around you basically think, oh yeah, they're all evil. Well, okay, I don't want to be part of the evil.
Especially the younger Zoomers, right? What's that kid that you like to mess with on Twitter? I forget his name now.
Harry Sisson?
Yeah, Harry Sisson, right? He's influential, and the way he speaks is pretty eloquent and forceful and all that stuff. And so you've got these young influential kids on TikTok going, well, that guy is dressed nice. He's got cool hair, whatever it is, insert thing. And I don't want to be, a racist.
Who does?
Right. No. So you influence the weak-minded and the people who are just lemmings and want to go with the crowd. And then you label the other side racist. So nobody now wants to work with them or be around them or anything like that. It's disgusting.
Yeah.
So
speaking of someone who loves to bask in racism, I got to remove that and come in with the new thing, because otherwise, stop that screen and share this. I can't just fluidly move over from one tab to another.
If you just got used to using the share the way you should, the way StreamYard recommends, or you could just download your videos every night. I do that with some stuff.
That's insanity.
Well, then you can share it from Oh God, what are you doing to me? Wait, hold on. So you make the goal. Sin come back next week if we get 15 yellows, and then you torture me not only with Obama but this. Oh, okay.
I'm just gonna point out.
Okay, Joe. I see how it is.
So far we have 0. There's no love for Sin. No love for Sin.
It's the end of the month, man. You got to wait another week.
It was really nice knowing you.
I call you next Wednesday. It's just this phone is no
Who?
longer connected.
Dee-da-dee. The number you are trying has been disconnected. Anyway, so here's Sony Hostile telling us all about how difficult life is for Black folk.
As a mother of Black children, I know that Black boys are not given the presumption of innocence and the presumption of youth. She's calling the police and saying they're trying to steal her car, and they're 11 years old. They don't know how to drive. And so for me...
Because only kids who know how to drive would ever try to steal a car, right? Only ones with the license.
Yeah, there wasn't that group of kids just like a year ago on TikTok driving around that were like 12 and 14 acting crazy. Okay, got you.
Yeah.
Interesting was I have had to be in the position where I have gone to my local police department because I know my son is going to be training for the Junior Olympics, running around the neighborhood in an all-white neighborhood, and I have brought him to the police and said, he belongs to me. This is my son. Do not harass him. Do not stop him.
Why are you doing that? You're building another generation of fear of police and white people by doing that. I live, all right, the murder cabin is my second home. The other home is in a very influential neighborhood. And nobody sees a Black kid who lives down by the lake running around the neighborhood and goes, oh, well, let me get on my phone because that kid might steal my bicycle. Right. Nobody's doing that.
Right. Yeah. Well,
jeez.
It's not just that, Sin. It's not just that. I mean, listen to what she's basically saying. All cops are racist.
Yes.
They're all evil. They're all looking to harass Black kids and arrest Black kids. And I'm so entitled that they're going to listen to me if I go down there. I'm so powerful and I'm so special and important that if I go down there and say he's with me, that now serves as this aura of protection for my kid because I'm so special and important. I'm Sonny Hostile. So why wouldn't, obviously they're going to listen to me. So I went down there. I was like, he's with me. Don't you mess with him. Like, I'm so powerful. You don't want to mess with him because if you mess with him, you're messing with me. Like,
so that's exhausting too. She's
so
also
entitled.
Talking about her neighbors. She's because who would report the Black kid training for the triathlon? Her neighbors who are probably waving to her going, oh, she's such a nice lady, They put up great Christmas lights and all that. She's saying her neighborhood is racist, which is obviously a gated community. It's so ridiculous.
So I moved. I made all this tons of money and moved to a community of people who hate me because they're stupid racists. It's like, what the hell are you talking about? None of what you're saying makes any sense at all. I mean, how much money does this crazy biatch have? And I'm sure. Right. And it's like you're telling me that the reason that's what you had to do. You had to just move on out of here. Just move on out of here because it was just so dangerous for your kids that you had to go on up there to the police and say, hey.
If you see this kid with a bicycle or a TV, don't you stop them. They're not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, if you see them running down the street with a TV, they're with me. Okay? They're with me.
Jesus Christ, man. The audacity of some people.
Seriously. Bobby Yogi says JD Advanced song should be your opening, no DMA. What's the JD Advanced song?
Do you know what no clue.
What does no DMA mean? Does that mean I'm not going to get hit? Is that what he's trying to say?
Yeah, probably.
JD Advanced. Now I'm curious.
Yeah, me too.
The JD theme song, Every Time You Leave. This is 13 years ago. No, that's not it. JD Advanced, like Vance, but Advanced. JD Advanced. I don't. Oh, JD Advanced song MP3 download. What? I would share my screen with you, but then everyone's going to hear you echoing.
Well, I'll just mute.
I don't. This is. You don't have to mute. I did it your way. This is when
way.
Yeah, your stupid way. When I'm putting in the JD Advance song.
Mm-hmm.
JD Advance song. I don't. JD Advance song and lyrics. Is this it?
I assume, man. I am just as lost on this as you are.
Oh man, I have to pretend I have a Spotify account, which I don't. All right. Well, I'm on it. I'm on it,
YouTube.
Bobby.
It's a meme from Discord.
Bobby.
Okay.
It's a name from Discord.
It's a
on
meme
YouTube.
from Discord is what it says. Yeah, he says it's on YouTube.
Hold on a second. Let's see if we can figure this out here. It's on YouTube. JD Advanced. JD Advanced.
Oh yeah, it comes up in the search. Oh, I'll put it in the private chat. Hold on.
I think I got it.
This meme.
This one up here.
Let me come back and look. Yeah, that's it.
I'm gonna stole from Discord.
That's it.
Yo, it's JPI Advance. Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big cheer. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff.
That
Now
meme
me
makes me so
important, we
uncomfortable.
tired tough.
This
That
is
meme-
not what.
That meme makes me so uncomfortable. the JD Vance baby face meme. Oh, I can't
That's-
look at it. It hurts me. It makes my
It's
skin just
very
fall off.
unsettling.
It's so
very,
unsettling. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
Make it go away.
Please, what are we
Make it go away.
No.
This is
Ugh.
this. I don't think that this.
I don't know if it fits your stream style. I think it's a little too
Yeah.
upbeat, young generation, Latin.
It doesn't.
It's a little
feel,
too Latin.
It doesn't feel like me. It just doesn't feel. It just doesn't feel like it doesn't. It's the sort of thing I would play for 30 seconds on a stream one night, and that's the end of it.
After a few drinks.
Well, my point is, I just that's the end of it. we just covered it. If you missed it, you missed it. But there it was. So, Obama's rhetorical style was just Bill Clinton with hot sauce. Maybe, but no,
man,
Bill Clinton was not nearly as divisive. He wasn't.
Yeah,
Jim
no,
Santana says, "What up, boys? I hope you have a great stream. Remember your buddy Jim and give me a sub. Hey, www.youtube.com/Jim's. Jim tells you. Is he streaming tonight? Should I be redirecting?
yeah. We should definitely redirect, of course.
All right, so in that case, let me
go ahead and set it up.
Yeah, if I don't set it up now, it's not.
I'm sorry, that JD Vance face. I couldn't look at it. One super chat down, 14 to go. Come on, boys.
Yes. We're so close. You're so close.
I blame Joe with his topics.
It's coming. I'm putting this in I gotta just set up my redirect. Where's the redirect? Add. Control V. Save. All right, you're redirected now.
All right. That way.
How do you know the racial districts aren't about race? If a white Democrat won, you wouldn't hear a peep. If a black Republican won, they'd scream about it. Yep. 110%. If a black Republican beats a white person, they would be screaming that it was unfair.
The new blackface of white supremacy was one of the lines. When the world was that? And people bought it. People bought into it. It was like, yeah, that's it. We're doing our part, keeping a black conservative from winning anything.
Kimmy's telling me that Gavin Newsom lost.
The 9th district.
Yeah, what was this case about?
Mm.
To rehear this case en banc of what was taken. Matter of fact, I'll just share.
Also,
I'll share
the
really.
Circuit. Okay.
What was this about? This was about the whole. This is probably about ICE This is probably about the National Guard with ICE. Get it in there with ICE. I assume that's what this is.
I mean, you're the expert.
You know how many cases there are?
Millions? I would assume millions, to be honest with you.
That's what I'm saying. Like seriously, there's so many cases. I can't remember off the top
Can't
of
keep
my
up with
head.
everything.
No,
You know?
I can't. This is what she shared with me here. Before Mark J. Bennett, a judge of this court, sua sponte, which means of its own initiative, like on the instant, without someone coming along and asking for it. Let's put us lower so this way people have a better view. We'll do it that way. Request a vote on whether to rehear this case en banc. So when a case comes before the Court of Appeals, they have a short panel, right? They have a smaller panel. They have all their judges, and then they'll pick a panel of 3, usually most jurisdictions, to sort of that you're the 3 who are handling this case. Sometimes after the 3 make a decision, the losing party will be like, hey, can we get an en banc decision, which means that all the judges will weigh in from this court, which will be like, a dozen or 20 of them will weigh in and have a vote that way. So you need to get special permission in order for it to be heard. That's called en banc, E-N-B-A-N-C.
We're just making things up now.
No. So is it
We're
right
just
here.
completely making words up to sound fancy.
It's even right. It's even right here.
I get it, but we're just making things up.
E-N-B-A-N-C. You can't see my arrow here because I'm sharing this via tab instead of the screen.
Isn't all this stuff supposed to be written so that the layman can understand it?
No, it's specifically not for that, because then why would anyone ever need to hire a lawyer? That's ridiculous. Look, let me tell you something. If the rules, what law is it's the rules of life. So much like you can, you buy a game like Settlers of Catan, right? And you want to learn the rules of the game. So there's one person who reads the rule book.
Yeah.
So too, over here you have a select group of Americans who decide we're going to read the rules and learn how to. Now, if the rules are very easily understood by anyone who would just open them up, well, what would be the point to 3 years of law school? Anyone could just figure it out.
Yeah, if anybody could just, I don't know, represent themselves and understand the law and handle any problems like that, what would be the use for, I don't know, Joe?
Exactly. I would be Captain Dunsel. Well, I would have no function at all. But this gives me purpose. This gives me life.
Because you
so I can pretend that
en
banc there's not even a course on Latin. You just sort of pick up these terms. My favorite Latin term is res ipsa loquitur. That was always my favorite term, which means the thing speaks for itself. So res ipsa loquitur. Anyway, so a vote was taken. The matter failed to receive a majority of the votes of the non-recused active judges in favor of an en banc consideration. Rehearing en banc is denied. Judge Berzin's statement regarding denial of rehearing en banc and Judge Gould's dissent from the denial of rehearing en banc are filed concurrently herewith. So sorry, you lost. I do believe that this is the ICE case. I was going to see if I can pull this up. I'm going to just verify that this is about it's from ICE. Yeah, going to Grok.
Let me go ahead and go to Grok and
this is the
just figure it out, right?
I never spelled the word guard correctly. I'm just telling you. Whichever way I spell it is wrong. I think they keep changing how it gets spelled.
You think, oh yeah, the guard is always one of those ever-changing words.
It is.
You really need to pay attention to the latest dictionary edition that's come out.
Come on.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it says Trump Confederalized California National Guard.
Yeah, so review National Guard deployment case. Changing of the guard.
I should just read what the text says.
That's what I would probably do. I wasn't going to say anything,
You could have spoken up earlier. Here's some love for Sin. He cracks me up. Well,
thank you so much. I do my best whenever Joe gives me good material to bounce off of.
It means Trump can send the California National Guard to Portland.
I could have done 15 minutes on Obama's eyebrows. I swear to God, he dyes them. It was ridiculous. I couldn't stop looking at him, like 2 caterpillars on his face.
So wait, that was the case that Judge Breyer was like, no, that was Judge Breyer, the brother of former Supreme Court Justice Breyer. He basically made a jackass out of himself, saying, I don't see any basis at all for how he can activate the National Guard. And basically his appellate court was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds insane to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's fully under Trump's power. How can you tell him? Nah, I don't think so. I don't think you can do that. No, probably not, bro. Trust me, bro, is what he pulled.
That is effectively what he pulled. Yes,
exactly.
It was a trust me, bro moment.
I mean, you get those a lot whenever somebody's trying to argue against Trump and what he's trying to do. It's like, nah, he can't do it. But why? Nah, just trust me, bro. He can't. I'm not gonna let him.
Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate it, guys.
All right. Should I, once I'm doing my law stuff, should I just knock off the stuff about? Let's just knock off the Comey stuff, because that is one of my featured things.
Yeah.
Let's get to Comey. Okay, so the first thing I'll share with you about Comey, this is something that's more understandable. Okay. For the evidence will be that I'm going to play this, and Sin is going to tell you what they're saying here.
We're in trouble, chat. Trust me, bro. That's what we're about to pull.
If you get it wrong, I'll help you.
Yeah. Okay. I love being quizzed on a Wednesday night. I got you. Let's do this.
It makes it more fun. All right. So here we go.
Now we have a very interesting and maybe very successful move by the prosecutors. They say Comey's lead defense attorney, a man by the name of Patrick Fitzgerald, should not be representing him or handling the case because he had an alleged role in 2017 of media disclosures of classified information after Trump fired Comey as FBI director. So James Comey, when we say lawyer up, I don't know what type of deal he had, may have to lawyer up again. But why should Fitzgerald be able to represent him when he's sort of tied to him in such an allegedly nefarious way?
Exactly. I mean, this is the swamp. You have James
now I've got to pay attention to women too at the same time for this quiz.
3 women.
I have to pay attention to 3 women explaining it to me, Joe.
Explaining the law.
All right. I appreciate that. Yeah, way to kneecap me on this. All right.
Yeah, just if you have a problem, just throw your hand up, give the international drowning sign, and I'm there for you.
I want Obama's eyebrows back.
You can give me the international Heimlich sign,
and then you'll help me. I appreciate it. Thanks, Teach.
Him by taking up the potential witnesses and saying, oh, no, they're actually representing me. They're my crooked lawyers, not a witness that I leaked to, classified information. I mean, this is unbelievable. They think none of the rules apply to them. It is so perfect that this is James Comey's tactics, but the prosecutors are so smart to go after this. I mean, he should be a witness. This builds the case against Comey, and yet he thinks he can just rig it with the swamp and all his buddies. And
not so
I don't
fast.
think it's going to work.
Also,
I am over pulling the Heimlich sign so hard right now. I mean, it just seems to me like a basic conflict of interest because he was involved in 2017.
All right. That's not bad.
I did go to a private school, so that
wasn't too bad.
That
wasn't too bad. So what's going on here, for those of you who are a little bit are more or less, understanding about as much of this as Sin does, is that Comey hired a lawyer, Patrick Fitzgerald. The DOJ is now saying we want his lawyer removed, that he can't use this guy. We want the court to come in here and remove this guy. Why do we want him to remove this guy? Well, because this guy is someone that what's part of this, what he's alleged. What did he commit perjury on? One of the things he committed perjury on, I believe, was the notion as to whether or not he was part of a leak. Right?
Okay. Yeah.
So, did you leak information? He was asked under oath, did you leak information about, about what was going on in 2017 to the media? And he said, absolutely not. I had nothing to do with that. And they say he's lying about that. Right? That's what the claim is. So when he
Yes.
made that statement, I did not leak, that was a lie. Well, this scummy James Comey, what does he do? He goes out and hires the person he leaked to. So he basically says, so that way, now they want to call him as a witness and force this Fitzpatrick guy to testify against Comey. He'd be like, I can't testify. I was his lawyer.
That's what I was about to say. Was he trying to pull some confidentiality?
Yes, he's trying to create confidentiality and say
out of thin air like that.
Yes,
oh, no.
by hiring him to represent him as his lawyer in this case.
So that way, the guy that could sink him now can't testify against him because, well, I'm his lawyer. You can't force me.
Yeah, you can't force me to come in here and testify against my clients.
What a scumbag!
I have all this information he gave me, and I can't be questioned because whatever.
Was he his lawyer at that time, though? Is my question.
No, he hired him for this defense.
Oh, so he had no professional relationship with him at that time.
Well, I'm sure he had some relationship with him. I'm sure he had some relationship with him.
You get what I mean? Like he didn't pay him $1 and say, "Hey, let me represent you before you hand me this leaked material. That way, I can't testify against you in the future." Oh my God!
Is that unbelievable?
My brain's melting out of my ear about this. This is.
But no one ever said Comey was an idiot. He's just evil.
Yeah.
And this is how he's trying to cover up his evil, and that's what what? Are you kidding me? This dude can't be your lawyer. It's like,
man.
Yeah, it's like if you're trying to create privilege out of thin air. Yeah. It's as if just imagine that Dershowitz is a witness to a crime, and the defendant hires Dershowitz as their lawyer.
Yeah.
Or in this case, it's not even a witness. He helped him. He helped him escape.
So he helps him commit the crime, and then he turns around and is like, "Nah, man, you can't mess with me, and I can't testify because, well."
Technically, he didn't help him commit the crime because the crime is perjury. So the crime part was lying about it, not.
Gotcha. Oh yeah, okay.
So it really is more of a witness to a crime. That's probably a better analogy, to be fair.
It still doesn't matter. That is insane to me.
How are you going to prove that he leaked if you can't get the guy to testify?
That knows that he leaked. Because,
yeah, so you can't prove it was a lie if you can't prove that he leaked. So that's basically what this jackass went out there and tried doing, and that's why the DOJ is like, "What are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I was about to say, is there? Yeah, what is the process of? Well, now they can recuse him for being his lawyer.
The process of what? I'm sorry.
Can they recuse him from being his lawyer though? Like, how does that work? You just say,
that they would have they would have him be removed.
Okay, gotcha.
So, in fact, here's another breakdown of it.
By the way, I'm going to pay you $1. So anything I get sued for on this, and you're a witness to, just let you know.
Don't think you invented that idea. A lot of people do. That happens.
You can't call Joe for what I've said because I gave him $1 and now he's currently my lawyer. Okay,
many times. No, or people would want to have a conversation with me.
And they try to give you $1
and give me $1 to retain me. Right. So this way it's like, it's in confidence. You don't really, I'll explain to you, you don't really need to do that because if you're consulting with someone for the purposes of getting legal advice, even if you don't end up retaining them, that what you tell them during the course of that consultation is automatically privileged.
But you still take that $1, don't you, Joe? It's your heritage to take $1, right?
I knew you were going to go there.
Yes, I got one. I was waiting. I was waiting all stream to get a good one. That was a good one.
You could have just leaned in on the lawyer, right? You could have gone that way. You could have been like, oh yeah, that's what they train you.
That's how lawyers are.
Yeah, that's you could have gone that way. No. You're just gonna call a spade a spade.
Let's not go back there. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I see what's happening.
Hey man.
I see what's happening here.
The truth is the truth, okay, Joe? I mean, you took the dollar though, right? You did. We both know it.
It would be $10. Take $1. What do I mean, come on. New move by federal prosecutors against Comey legal team. Lead attorney Patrick Fitzgerald. I thought it was Fitzpatrick, whatever. Patrick Fitzgerald may have conflict that disqualifies him. Federal prosecutors cite 2019 DOJ watchdog report that found Comey leaked to Fitzgerald. The inspector general concluded Fitzgerald received multiple Comey memos about his meetings with President Trump, including at least one memo containing classified information. See, he's giving over his stuff that about what happened with Trump. Yeah. This fact raises a question of conflict and disqualification for current lead defense counsel. Some of the communications and the potentially protected material are from the same time as the focus of the DOJ OIG report. So, and this is what they share out here. They say former Director Comey failed to live up to his responsibility by not safeguarding sensitive information obtained during the course of his FBI employment and by using it to create public pressure for official action. Comey set a dangerous example for over 35,000 current FBI employees. This fact raises a question of conflict and disqualification for current lead defense counsel. So that's the motion that they brought to try and get him out. Adios. So that is, but it shows you there's no level that this snake won't sink to. I mean, you have to give props. Okay, look, the guy's, like I said, he's not a stupid man. Okay, yeah, he's not stupid. You don't underestimate your enemies, and he's definitely not a stupid human being. He's intelligent. His daughter Maureen Comey, I've said many times that she's a very smart attorney. I think she botched the Diddy case, but the way she handled the Ghislaine Maxwell trial, she was evil and effective.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the words mob and consigliere come to mind. Exactly. That
right.
Aaron, you nailed it there.
But that's how they all are up there in Washington. Like every one of them, right? Like they're all in on it. They all know what's going on, and they're all trying to find some way to cover up and snake what they've done or what they're going to do. And this time they got busted with it. So
and the judge here is trying to do whatever favors he can for Comey, which does not bode well for how this case is going to go. I need to be real with you all as far as the likelihood of conviction. It's seeming like it's going to be a struggle because the judge has actually worked to try and helped Comey in the earliest stages so far. I'm going to cover that in a moment. I just want to say thank you to Uzelian, who gifted 10 Good Lawgic subscriptions. These are ghetto subscriptions. These are not followers. These are ghetto dwellers.
Wait, are they? Hold up. They're still a part of the.
They're not part of the following. The following is specifically for you.
So wait, they don't get the tracksuits that you're sending out?
No, it's even more special.
Okay.
They're in the Heim. They're in the ghetto. They're in Warsaw with me.
They get wife beaters and trucker hats.
It's not wife beaters. It's capo hats and the Hasidic bekishes.
Is that what they get?
The long white socks.
Yeah,
they're
long white socks.
That's what ghetto dwelling is.
Hello, puppy.
Yeah, so he got a new dog. He's very excited. He's been waiting for an opportunity to try and bring this out here. So why don't you
I wasn't waiting.
Tell everyone about your dog. Everyone wants. We need to know about your
Hassan
new dog.
Being cruel to animals, I went and bought me a corgi this weekend, and his name is Cody. And you can see him on my Twitter if you go to @AmbientAristotle. He is a handsome little guy, and he likes to sit in my lap whenever I live stream. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Do you feed him well?
Oh, yeah. He gets IMS right now, but we're going to start doing a steak and a whole food diet for him. So we avoid any bad things. So
good. Kimmy's saying never trust Comey's golly gosh shucks routine. He does put that face on really effectively.
I don't know how it works. I didn't realize how tall he was until somebody said he was 6'8", and I noticed in the picture he was like dwarfing over everybody in that picture. So
He was too big for my thumbnail. His head was too big. It was just exploding past it. So, why didn't DOJ just say this guy's a witness, huh? I think he's a potential witness. I don't know that he's actually a witness. He's a potential witness. I think that's his status. But that's a good question. I don't know that they didn't. I didn't read through their motion, to be fair with you. But I'm not gonna challenge you to try and explain this next element related to the Comey prosecution, because this is the one that I had to sit here just sort of like rereading a couple of times to be like, huh? So I'm gonna break this down for you, because I want you all to be as informed as possible as to how this Comey
Is it more women
prosecution-
that we got to listen to? Because, you know.
No, well, not really. I mean, it's
Okay.
Julie Kelly is the one who reports it. She's based as hell,
Okay.
and she's the way she words it is a little bit of a struggle. But I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Julie Kelly. I'm not gonna hate on Julie Kelly. She's an invaluable resource on X. So, and this is what she shared out. Well, the judge in the Comey case already made clear he will nitpick everything from the Trump DOJ to the point of sounding absurd. Okay. So the point here is he's already showing that the judges can try to make life difficult for one side over another. I've had this where I had a judge threaten me that they didn't like the fact that I was going after a particular defendant, and that if I didn't settle with the defendant and find some sort of resolution, that they were going to try and do everything they could to find a flaw in my papers. And if they found any flaw at all, they were going to dismiss the case.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
That was Judge Sally Ann Scarpola. She was in the housing division when I did that. That was like a second-year attorney at the time. I was too green to appreciate.
Did you
Sad-
tell her you were a
Sadly,
part of
she
the
got
tribe?
promoted.
Well, that's how it always happens, right?
It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. So that was Judge Sally Ann Scarpola. Not a member of the tribe. No. She's a white woman.
Sounds Italian to me. So yeah, that wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it doesn't sound remotely Jewish, Scarpola.
Mm-mm.
But yeah, the way it works, if I can probably say this now because I don't plan on practicing law in New York like anytime soon. And if I do, the chances they'll be seen.
All right,
Whatever.
clip this, people, and send it in case. Get
Joe's
ready.
ever suing
Get
you.
ready to blackmail him.
If Joe's ever suing you. So my experience has been in New York, with
Yes.
New York judges, as far as if you want to look at integrity, fairness, and competence.
Mm-hmm.
The demographics that I have experienced is, as far as, apply, and I'm talking a bit just looking at the facts and the law and just, blindly focusing. This is the facts, this is the law. I'm going to try and apply them and come out with what I'm supposed to do, because that's what my job tells me to do. If you break down into black and white, male and female,
Mm-hmm.
you know which intersectionality is the best judges.
I mean, I would assume male.
You would
but
assume
that's just my misogyny coming out.
that is your misogyny. The best judges I've seen as a collective, in my personal experience, has been black females. I know. It
Okay,
shocks you.
all right.
I know. I just shocked.
Okay. Yeah. No. Yeah. Now I'm sitting here now, confused,
Astonished.
Yeah.
Astonished.
All
right?
right. Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna walk this one out.
I will never forget. I will never forget when I was going after a judgment against a woman who we had frozen her bank account, and she owed, I don't know, like $7,000, and I had basically like 3,000 of it that was like stored away.
Mm-hmm.
And she had put in an application to stop me, and now we were coming in before the judge to find out whether or not that application should, whether her application to stop me should release the funds to her or not.
Yeah.
And when I saw the judge, and she was a minority woman, the one I was going after, and I was like, look, give me $500 out of this. I saw the judge was a black woman. I was like, give me $500 out of the money we froze, and I'll let you hold on to the rest. And she's like, but I need that money. I said, okay. I mean, that's the best offer I can give you. I'm trying to get 2,500. If you need the 500, Judge Cheryl Biggs comes up. She looks at my paper. She looks at the application. She's like, so there's a judgment that's entered against you. She's like, yeah. Is the judgment satisfied? No. This is your money in the account? Yeah. So why would I not release it to Mr. Newman? And she's like, well, I really need the money. And, and she starts going on and on and on. And she's like, yeah, that's not the way the law works. Your application's denied. All the money gets released, and I end up getting the entire thing. And I was like, she applied the law. That's what the law said. I'm just following what the law says. I'm just doing that.
Again, you took every bit of it too, right? Just
and
like
I was almost crying in joy. I was almost crying in joy because the reason I made her that offer was because I saw the demographics here, and I had such bad experiences with some judges that I was just like, give me something. And yeah, so that was Judge Cheryl Biggs. She was great, and she was applying the law based on what the law says. And I've had several other experiences with Black women where they just seem like they know what they're doing. Like I could have been lucky. I don't know. Next on the list was white men, and the white women were just a disaster for me.
Well, I mean, never. And this isn't really. I'm not a misogynist. I think women are fantastic, but white women in power a lot of times. It seems like it really goes to their head. I think
there is one exception that I want to note for the record. There's one exception that there was a judge in one of the last cases I had, which ended up settling. I want to say roughly 6 months or so ago was a white female judge from Staten Island, and she's kind of like a battle axe, but she's fair. But she's fair both ways. Like she's kind of like she'll be like hostile, like she'll come across very aggressive if she thinks that you're not diligent in filing or whatever, or that you're trying to stall the case. She can be like, she will be someone who will like sort of almost pull out a ruler and wrap you over the knuckles, but she does it fairly to both sides. Like she hears both sides, and she's
that's
like,
all you can ask for, though, right?
Yeah. So she's the one exception so I'm going to exclude. As it happens.
All white women, but that one are not good judges.
I think her clerk ended up was like a fan of my show also. So
I see what it is now. Okay,
but she really was great. She really was great.
Parasocial relationship is what it was.
I don't want so I don't want to I don't want to have a brush stroke. All of them are. That's not true. It's
hashtag not all white women. I got you. Right. That's what you're saying.
Hashtag not all white women. Yes. Yeah. I know some phenomenal white women. I'm married to one.
Good job.
She's the best. All right. So anyway, this is I think a white dude over here. So while in this Comey case, while the judge in the Comey case already making clear, so the point that I'm making is that a judge can nitpick to sort of tilt the scales of justice and really destroy a case, can really make things like a nightmare for you if they want. And it sounds like this judge is looking to do that to the DOJ and to the government in the Comey case. And that's obviously protecting Comey. I'm not saying that he's motivated by that, but here's how they're trying to nitpick. This is from Judge Michael Nachmanoff's order yesterday, denying U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan's request to expedite approval of a filter team to review potentially privileged materials in the case. Do you understand anything from this paragraph?
Melted brain completely.
Yeah. This is the part which I was just like, all right, no one. I think like less than 10% of my audience who's smarter than the average bear is going to understand what the hell this paragraph's talking about. Then she says, keep in mind, Patrick Fitzgerald was brought on board on September 29th. Comey was arraigned on October 8th, after which Nachmanoff set a motion schedule October 20th as a deadline. Again, your brain's only melting further here. So I'll explain to you what is happening before we go any further.
Yes, please.
So
your chat is screaming locals at you.
Everyone's screaming locals?
Everybody, yeah. You don't pay attention to your chat very much, do you?
I didn't
I read
stream
all
to
the chats.
locals.
Yeah, they're all screaming locals. Send tell Joe he's not streaming to locals. Locals.
I don't know what they're talking about. I'm not supposed to be streaming to locals.
Locals. Thank you. Somebody, you're welcome.
is-
Not a problem.
What the hell are they talking about?
It's just what he said. That's what they're saying, man. I am a
It's
man
one
of the
guy.
chat,
It's
okay?
one guy. It's Aclo Cabin Films who basically
other
is
people too.
spamming my chat with locals.
Now he's spamming, but they were saying it before that. I think you got a super chat or something mentioning it.
Joe, local stream for Kimmy. I don't know what that means. Local stream for Kimmy. Kimmy said he didn't stream to locals. I never streamed to locals, Kimmy.
Hey man, I'm just trying
I
to
don't
be
know
a
what
man
that
of the
means.
chat,
Stream
even
to
if
locals.
I won't be here
I don't even
next
know what
week
that means.
to help them when they're screaming at you.
I don't even know. I have no idea what the hell they're talking about.
Now whose brain is melty, Joe? Take that. That's what you get for trying to use all this big legal jargon on me. How about that? How do you feel now?
She's saying there's no diggers in the chat. Okay. Well, I was talking about the ghetto, not the diggers. The ghetto is Rumble. The diggers are locals. We all gotta keep on pace here. You got followers, ghetto dwellers, ghetto and diggers. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Followers are in YouTube.
Now,
Ghetto is Rumble. It's the ghetto of Rumble, and the diggers are in.
There's no
locals.
crying in baseball.
I don't know what to tell you. I can't make diggers show up. I don't know what playground they're sitting there sticking their little sticks into. I turn on my camera when I go. I mean, I don't understand.
Well, we tried. I did my best, Chad. I'm sorry. I can't make the band do anything.
It's looking very very bad. This is a lie too. You think I'm not sitting here eyeing you guys? There are times when I'm looking around and I can't look at the chat. What do you mean we tried? What did you try?
I
don't even know what
read
you're
the entire
trying.
chat the entire time, unless you tell me to pay
He
attention to
has the
something.
chat on. He's my eyes and ears.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I appreciate
They're saying
that.
I was trying to help Kimmy. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You're just being mean to Kimmy right now for no reason.
I'm not being
bro.
mean to Kenny.
What if she gave you $1? Could she retain your services? I'm just asking questions for the chat. You know,
Another
I'm a man of
Jew
the
joke.
people.
I'm just gonna have a counter here of the Jew jokes.
I'm trying to hit 3 every show, so that was one good one and then one repeated one. So
Yeah. All right. So I'm feeling like I don't want to explain this to you anymore. I'm gonna leave you in the dark.
Let me see if I can decipher.
I did miss this. Comey's a snake. Can't believe they did a TV show about him as if he was a hero. Anyways, I got back to lurking in the background. Good night. I'm gonna give you the horn because you're 20 months. And I appreciate you lurking out there. So thank you. Turn on chat is on.
Yeah, my chat's on. I got you. I pay it to dance.
There you
harder.
go.
Dance harder. I'll do my best. You know.
Yeah. Dance harder.
Trying to shuck and jive up here.
I'm gonna
sweaty.
credit those 10 rants in Rumble, those 10 gifts as five more for you. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying.
I appreciate it, Joe. Good looking out.
I am. Now they're telling me muted. Oh yeah, it is muted. It is muted because I'm using your. That's another reason that I stopped using the Chrome tab thing.
Don't do that. Don't sit there and start blaming your boomer problems on me now. That's why you want me here, so you could be like, oh, I'm not a boomer. The chat can't blame me. I'm gonna figure your problem out this week. I got a wedding Saturday. And Sunday, I'm getting on StreamYard, and I'm gonna figure your problem out.
I'll explain to you this, okay? I'll explain to you this. I used to always do it the way we're doing it right now, but then I got a Stream Deck, which basically blows the horn, and has other stuff pop up that if I play it right now, like Greta Thunberg's "How dare you" and all these other little clip things that I'll sort of throw up, some of the background music, Like sometimes if I'm reading something where someone is weeping too hard about something
You'll play a
stupid,
little. Yeah.
I'll play the really sad, melancholy song for them in the background while I'm reading it. It adds a little flavor.
Yeah, it's a little something.
You don't know, the audience doesn't hear it. You won't hear it. The only person who hears it is me, unless I share a tab and basically say, share this entire Chrome screen, not a tab. If I share a tab, all you're hearing is what's on that tab, and that audio clip is not part of that tab. If I share an entire screen, then it will pick it up.
Yeah, that's a boomer thing. You should be able to just do it through your audio. I've used soundboards on my show before, and we are definitely not professional. We have moving backgrounds and all kinds of cool intros and stuff and soundboards, and we just don't have this problem, man.
Yes, it is the little violin action. That's exactly what it is. I don't know if she means that that's what I'm playing, that the sad music, or she's saying that someone should be playing that for me.
Somebody said because you haven't programmed it. Exactly.
They try to tell you that it's okay, but it's not okay. That music. That music.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yes. All right. Well, one thing we should call to everyone's attention is someone desperately trying to bail you out is Brian Oldenkamp, who gifted 10. Count them 10. You hear the horn? I didn't even try playing the horn because I know it's like 10 Good Lawgic memberships. Following 10 people brought into the following, courtesy of Brian Oldenkamp. Please, if I call out your name, make sure you express gratitude. Brian Oldenkamp for bringing you into the greatest assembly of chatters, arguably in internet land. And that would include you, Justin, and J.M. Sparger, Gina S., Sherry Ward, Space Baby, Cat, Don Boo, Cupcake, Bonnie E, and Missile Lee. Welcome to the following. Please be aware that I am not, repeat, not at all the leader of the following. I am simply the host. That's my whole role. I am very much not at all.
Just hosting the cult. You're not the leader of the cult.
It's not at all a cult.
But that way, when the cult, air quotes,
it's not a cult type of cult.
It's not sort of. It's cult adjacent.
If you want to be an esteemed member of the following, you need to get yourself a coin, a digger coin here, which for $200, there's a limited edition coin.
How many of those have you moved?
I've never tried moving any of them. I've never tried moving any of them. There are only 10 in the world.
Oh, and you're letting them go for a mere 200?
There's only 10 in the world.
Yeah.
It's got this little on the back. This is the back side of it. I'm gonna let my camera adjust and figure out how to actually.
Now you're gonna break your camera. This is good radio.
We had it there for a moment. Maybe if I go off, you'll see it better. No, that's not doing anything to help. There you go.
There it goes.
Digger challenge. It's a little picture of a miner there. Can you see the miner digging away there? There you go. That's one side. And the other side, we have a picture of a random member of the following over here, which is this coming to you. That's just a random person, and it's called and it says Good Lawgic the following. So there you go. And they each numbered. So this, for example, I don't know if you can make it out here, but this is number 3. You can sort of see it. There's only one which has number 3 on it. So there you go.
I would hope so. If they're limited to, what'd you say, 20 of them or 10?
10. There's only 10.
I would hope it wasn't, 3 threes or something like that, because then your math would be way off.
Right. That would
be bad.
That would really suck. Yeah, I actually promised, and I still haven't sent it yet, but I do plan on fulfilling this promise, where Digger number 6, I'm going to be sending him a free one. He's that's Audio Guy Joe, and I haven't sent it to him yet. I still have it here, but he basically has been with me since day one, and he grabbed data number 6. So I basically am setting that coin. So you can't buy that one. But eventually, I haven't really tried pushing it at all.
You should probably do that.
At some point. They cost me a pretty penny.
Yeah. Solid gold.
Like those 10 coins.
Yeah.
It cost me more than a couple $100.
You're yarmulke showing as you're saying this. I'm just
it was a very, I don't want to get into it. It was a very lengthy story what happened with these coins. I didn't it was very
just saying.
I'm hesitant to say anything because I don't want to make anyone upset, and I don't want to create drama, but it was not.
Let's not do that.
There's a lengthy story behind the creation of these coins, and you would not believe how many hundreds of dollars I ended up paying for these 10 coins. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
Let them go for a mere 200, folks.
Well, I'm saying for the 10 coins. I'm saying for the 10 coins. So give Joe a break on the audio. He's still trying to figure out the phonograph. Shut up. That's not cool. I'm really losing my flavor for explaining to you what this paragraph means. All right.
It's because it's one of those things to where you start reading it and you go, I am immediately bored by the way they wrote it. These people could write it in layman's and flare it up a little bit for you.
She's trying to work within a certain number of characters, I think. So, and you sort of need to condense. But all right. So the judge on the case is Judge Michael Nachmanoff. And he issued an order yesterday where he said, I am not going to be expediting your application. So you brought an application and then you asked to expedite it.
Yeah, I understand.
Move it along.
Expedition.
I'm walking everyone through it. I want everyone to understand. So we're not. So you brought a follow-up thing saying, "Hey, that application, can we move that along?" No, we're not moving along. That's denied. Now, eventually, I'm going to get to your application. I'll decide whether or not to grant it. Yeah. What's that application? So that's the approval of a filter team. What is a filter team?
That's what I was about to ask. Like, I think most people understand what expedition is. The filter team is what I was hung up on. And I started to Google it and be like, haha, look how smart I am. But I decided to be with the chat. A man of the chat is what I'm saying.
A man of the chat. Yeah. So a filter team is designed to basically say this. There's certain things that should not be disclosed. We have a discovery process.
Got you. Yes.
So there's certain records that have to be turned over. Well, if some of those records are privileged information and private privileged information, that would be an exclusion to something that should be disclosed, because it'd be like you can't use it anyway, and there's potentially damaging to the defense if they're forced to share it with the prosecution.
Got you.
So what do you do to figure? But now they might, if you're a defendant, you're going to say, well, everything's privileged. I'm not letting you see anything. So what do? How do you figure out whether or not it's privileged? You're not going to have the judge go through thousands of documents, because no judge wants to do that.
Yeah.
So instead, what they do is they create a filter team. These are people who are supposed to be experts in understanding where there is some level of privilege which may attach, and say, okay, here's documents 1 through 1,000, and they create a list of these document numbers. The following documents are sorted as being privileged under this classification of privilege, and others will be sorted under a different classification of privilege. There are multiple different types of privileges, and the nature of the privilege is important because there are exceptions to each type of privilege. So if it's sorted under privilege A, B, or C, so if it's under A and it's not under C, the exceptions that may come up as to why that might come in could kick in. Anyway, so you need to have a team of people who are going to go through all these potential documents.
Okay.
How do you set up who's on that team? You need approval from the court saying, okay, these are the 3, 4, 5 individuals, 10 individuals potentially, who are going to be going through the documents to figure out what is privileged and what is not privileged and should be turned over as part of discovery. So that's the filter team. So in order for them to get to work, you need to have approval of a filter team by the courts. So what happened was So Halligan, who's for the DOJ, she's the chick who came in and replaced and was the one who said, I'm going to go after Comey.
Yeah.
So she said, okay, here's my application to have a filter team. And a couple of days later, she's like, can we expedite that? Because I really want to get my filter team in there. It's not that big a deal.
I want to get to work.
Let's
right?
let's just get the approval. Why are we
done.
waiting weeks and weeks to get approval on the filter team? They're going to have to spend weeks and weeks filtering, right? I mean, and you gave us a tight deadline as to when we're supposed to finish all discovery.
Yeah.
So they really need to get moving.
Nah. That's what the judge says. Nah.
That's what the judge said. The judge said, no. And the judge's reason what's the judge's reason? The judge's reason is, well, you come in filtering these documents years ago. And
Wait,
why wouldn't they?
how long has this case been going?
Oh, it's like 3 months. That's why the people are like, are you out of your mind?
Every time I come on this show, I'm bright-eyed, I'm bushy-tailed, I'm ready to, have a little fun with my friend, talk to the chat, and you do this, and I just lose all hope in humanity.
I'm not trying to make you lose hope in humanity. I'm just telling you what this judge said. That's what Judge Knack that's what people are so upset.
Okay, devil's advocate. Did he misspeak? Right?
No, it's a written order. He wrote a whole thing denying the application to expedite.
He goes and
he has a whole explanation. No, they could have brought this up years ago. The government could have brought this up years ago. And it's like, what does that mean? He could have brought up years? Why? Who would have brought it up years ago? It would have been the Biden DOJ. But he's pretending that it's all the same DOJ, whether it's Biden's DOJ or Trump's DOJ. It's all the same DOJ. So why didn't the DOJ bring this up years ago? It's like I'm going to pretend I'm not living in reality here for the purposes of trying to basically be a jackass and to try and make life difficult for the DOJ. That's what's happening here. So, as Julie Kelly adds, keep in mind, Patrick Fitzgerald, remember that's the lead defense counsel, the one they're trying to move, was brought on board on September 29th. Comey was arraigned on October 8th, after which Nachmanoff set a motion schedule with October 20th deadline. Halligan's first motion related to a filter team was on October 30th, and then entered a motion so she filed this motion for a filter team on October 13th and said, let these people serve on the team, and then brought the motion to expedite on October 19th. Yet, Nachmanoff expected his DOJ to prepare a proposal for a filter team immediately. Like, when are they supposed to bring this in? You sort of have to figure out who's going to be on the filter team, who's appropriate to go through this. They have to have right levels of classification. They have to not be tainted themselves, right? They have to have enough competence and experience to do this, and also have the right clearance levels, because you have to realize this guy was in the FBI. They're looking at documents here, which some of it's classified. So you sort of have to find, these are select people. This is not things that you or I would have a right to do. Even if you're an attorney, or even I, as you have to be an attorney to be on a filter team, because you have to understand how privilege works. But it's not something that most attorneys can do, because if you don't have the right classification, in that case, you can't be going through these FBI documents. That's ridiculous. So you need to have attorneys who have clearance and are themselves not tainted because they're related to the government. So you sort of have to come up with these people and figure out who would be appropriate for the filter team that doesn't have, there's no reason to think that there's a problem with them going through these documents. So Nachmanoff expected DOJ to prepare a proposal for a filter team immediately? Before the indictment? Before the arraignment? Yeah. Because the government, not under Trump, mind you, has had the evidence pursuant to another investigation for years. That's what he said. You had this there for years, so you could have gone through it beforehand. Nachmanoff claims Fitzgerald's conflict was obvious years ago because of the 2019 DOJ IG report, identifying him as a conduit in Comey's leak of confidential and in some instances classified information. So that's another thing. He's like, why are you saying there's a conflict? Why are you coming up with the fact there's a conflict now? You should have pointed out this conflict when he got hired on September 29th. Why are you waiting a couple of weeks to say that when, you had this report? That's absurd. It reminds me of the time Judge Chutkan told Trump's attorneys in the J6 cases they should have been reading discovery evidence in the case before the indictment to prepare for trial. Meaning that, Judge Chutkan, she was the judge in the DC case against Trump, that she's basically saying that before he was even indicted, they should have been going through evidence, which is insane. So hopefully a motion to recuse is forthcoming. And she shows a little clip here of where he said, apparently failed to seek any guidance with respect to filter protocol at any time before October 13, 2025. It's like, when were they only brought this 2 weeks earlier. It's really the point. The point to this post is he's acting like a jackass in a way to try to make life difficult for the DOJ.
Well, yeah, of course. He doesn't want to prosecute Comey.
Right.
Not at all.
Well, you would hope that he would be independent and neutral.
Yeah, we hope that, but you know how that works nowadays. Like, who appointed this judge? I mean, that'll answer all of our questions, right?
Not always.
I was about to say, now that
there's
I
a
think
lot of
about
judges
it, some
who
of the
turned on
judges
Trump.
that, I was about to say, some of the ones he's appointed have also turned on him. So,
yeah, look, Amy Coney Barrett has been an utter nightmare.
I knew she was going to be, but
how did you know?
Nobody,
everyone says afterwards, you didn't know. Okay, you didn't know. Everyone loves to say, "Oh, I knew that Judge Amy Coney."
I tried to tell everyone. Nobody listened to me.
Call me.
I was screaming from the mountaintops.
Okay,
nobody listened.
No,
and you know what? Now look at you.
You were Baba Yogi right there, being like, "Hello, hello."
Yeah.
Do not.
It's in the eyes.
A point. Amy Barrett.
Yeah, it's in the eyes.
That was you.
In the eyes, and you can tell it's what I call realtor eyes. It's realtor eyes, right? It's these people you run into in my business, and you can look at it that they are just going to just shuck and jive on every deal, everything that you're doing. They're just not going to work the deal correctly.
I remember
she had those.
When she was nominated by Trump, everyone was sitting there like with like
you did a victory lap. I watched the stream. You were so happy.
Yeah, we all thought because she looked.
Don't say we. Don't let me into that. What do you got? A mouse in your pocket? Don't say we.
No, it was we. Everyone.
Don't say
There's
we.
One exception. There's only one exception that I will
Me.
give him that publicly came out and said this, and that was Robert Barnes. Robert Barnes never liked her. Robert Barnes was saying that she's, from the Federalist Society and I don't trust them people and whatever. Everyone was all excited because we were concerned that it wouldn't happen before Trump was gone. That was the big fear.
Yeah.
And she looked so robust in just basically having like the Constitution and Supreme Court cases memorized when she was just rebuffing all these different questions.
Yeah.
That everyone was like, wow, look at this woman go.
Hey.
Look at her go. She just seems so knowledgeable. And so she's just swatting away senators.
Yeah.
Like swatting them. So, yeah.
She prepared for the memeable moment on Twitter. And that was it. After that, she just said, I'll just kind of do what I want. Thanks, Trump. Appreciate it. I'll be here for the rest of my life.
So you told this to your dog Aphrodite, right? That's who who heard
at
you
that time.
say
My
it?
dog's name was Braxton, and yeah.
Can anyone else besides Braxton vouch for the fact that was your position at the time? That
I mean, a lot of people. I had an old Twitter account that is now nuked. A lot of people were holding me up on their shoulders.
Oh, it was
cheering me on, and they were like, "You're right."
On the nuked account.
It was so it's lost the time now.
Yeah. With the 9 followers you had on that nuked account.
Nicole, there's nothing wrong with realtors, but it's a term that I've talked to several real estate agents in my business. There you see these people with these eyes that are just hollow, and we call them real estate eyes.
Yeah. Sadly, KPT Times is correct on this. Knowing the law and upholding the law is not the same thing. Can we talk a little bit about? I got some other stuff I want to cover for you.
Let's move into it.
Yeah.
A segue.
Apparently, Jack. I'm going to hold off on Jack Citarelli. But I'm going to hold off on election. I want to share this first. I want to share this. I don't know who this woman is, but I stumbled on 2 different videos from her today that I really liked. One of them I opened. One of them hold on a second. We'll share this one. I'll share this one first. Present, share. This is just random things Joe found that he's like, I don't think my audience would like this. So you tell me.
I'm trans and I just
No. Wait.
What?
All right. I'm here for it.
have one question to
Just let me hear.
I'm trans and I just have one question to everyone who doesn't support it. How does me making an external change to my own body and presenting myself in the way that I want to actually affect you and your well-being?
Happy to help. It's because you're men. Men who have now devoted their entire lives to making a mockery of women and our bodies. Your idea of what a woman is a man's idea of what a woman is. Usually it's super
It's a poignant point.
offensive. You steal our trophies. You come into our changing rooms and watch little girls undress. It used to be that exposing yourself to women was a crime, but now as long as you call yourself trans, I guess it's totally fine. Your crimes, even rape and murder, are recorded as being done by women before you're sent to our prisons where you rape and murder us some more. You come into our bathrooms, you jerk off, you make us really uncomfortable because you're men. And don't even tell me that's not true because you all post about it publicly. But not me. I'm not a dangerous pervert. How the hell are women supposed to tell the difference between a normal pervert and a dangerous one?
Exactly, right?
I love that line. How are we supposed to tell the difference between a normal?
I mean, I trust no pervert, so yeah.
I'm not a big fan of the whole the whole pervert thing.
Yeah, I'm not a enjoyer of perverts. It's not something I dabble in.
It's just not my thing that I'm going to sit here like, no, you're a safe pervert.
Yeah, that's
what does that even mean? You're a safe pervert. Yeah.
Lastly, I don't feel like jerking you off. When people call me she, her, and I wear my fishnets and skirts, I get a euphoria boner. It gets me kind of turned on.
I'm uncomfortable now with this. Wait, this took a hard turn.
I think she's not a big fan of the trans.
I don't think she's a fan of the trans people or perverts. And,
right.
You know,
right.
Neither am I, honey. Neither am I. So
can't hear us saying no, then you're probably not.
This was a good line also. Which kind of.
It gets me kind of turned on. And if you're the kind of man who can't hear us saying no, then you're probably not one of the good ones.
Great final line there, right?
Snarky at the end. Exactly, right?
I was impressed. I was like, okay,
it was good. Yeah, she
was
nailed
good.
it.
Yeah,
and all this stuff started with Obama too, right? Like that ties it back into the beginning of the show because if you remember correctly, that's when the whole bathroom debate started.
But I think that was that really?
It was Obama.
That's good.
It was like the last year of Obama. I remember it because I on the account that was nuked, I took a picture of the bathroom at the gym, or like at the door where it had the men's and women's sign. I said, oh, well, now I'm confused on which one I'm supposed to use. And it was about the only tweet I ever had that actually got any traction. I felt like a really big person then.
So I don't know who this woman is, but I got 2 of her videos because this is the same woman, right?
Yeah, that's obvious. What are you, woman blind?
I'm saying. I assume this is the same woman. I thought this was pretty funny too.
Okay, I genuinely have to talk about this. I'm a little angry right now.
We're angry today.
I didn't even work today. I just went to the fucking Burger King.
No kings.
And I can't go one day without getting misgendered down.
I mean,
and,
come on, bro.
My voice.
Come on, bro. You've done none of the work.
That's not true.
Of the work.
That's not you've done none of the assignments.
None of the assignment has been filled out.
You're
sitting here turning in your essay, and there's nothing on the page right now.
There's no work shown.
You're trying to get the teacher's attention. You have some
no work
lipstick on and a mullet.
No work shown.
Sir, you have a mullet. You look like you belong in the trailer park down the road from my house. Okay.
Hold on. I like her commentary.
Misgendered down. And like I understand my voice is still like in hella deep. I understand that like people like assume like facial structure that I am a guy sometimes. But like how do you not look at my fucking boobs and go, oh yeah, that's a woman?
Yeah.
Are you dumb as fuck?
He's got
I know guys who have
bitties!
What?
There's tons of guys who have boobs out there. That doesn't make you a woman. Is my dad, who's overweight, is he a woman because he has boobs?
Yeah, I hope not. I hope I wouldn't.
Now I've
qualify.
got to ask him because
Now
of
you
this
have
guy.
questions. You don't want to, are you going to misgender your own dad?
No, of course not. He's way taller than me. I'm not going to do that.
Wise man.
I get misgendered every day at work.
You?
The other day at work, oh my god, there was this like woman that came up to me and was like, "Oh, can you ask that gentleman, that handsome gentleman over there, like what he where that thing is in whatever aisle? Can you not look at my rack and clearly see that I am a woman?
That dude's got a rack on him.
What was that, brother?
That dude's got a rack on him, though.
Yeah. No, that's money well spent right there.
I would get the feminization of the face surgery done first. He's got a jawline on him.
He does have that man jaw.
He has that man jaw.
He has a man jaw.
You can't slap on rims onto an old hoopty car and call it a Mercedes. And that's what he's trying to do, right?
It's an interesting thing that you're bringing up the man jaw.
Yeah.
Because I technically you would think that there shouldn't be any facial feature which is uniquely male or female, but there is definitely, I think, a man jaw.
100%. It happens because of testosterone. Your jaw muscles will actually grow because of testosterone. Same
I'm
thing with
flexing
your
my
neck.
jaw muscles as you're saying, like I'm doing the
Yeah, chew gum. Yeah, it'll work. And you can see a great juxtaposition right there between her face and his face. There's no taper to his face. It's square.
So women don't chew gum?
No, I'm saying like there is the jaw, not just from the backside, right? All the way forward. It is a square chin all the way up to the jaw.
She seems to have a square chin, you can see here.
But look how small and dainty her chin is compared to his.
Mm.
You see how her face tapers?
I can see it, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but you're also
what
lady
I'm
blind.
seeing.
Like you literally couldn't tell it was the same woman
I
from
said
the
I think
previous
it's the
video.
same. I said it's the same.
You
It
said,
seems like the
"Is
same
that
woman.
the same woman?" So
I said
you're not
I
a good
think
judge of trans. How many people have you misgendered, Joe?
Let's finish this up.
Woman! Girl! Yeah! I'm just so tired of it. I get that I'm in Calvert and I'm in like a very redneck part of my state. But y'all bitches need to start taking me seriously because I'm about to start crashing out in aisle 5.
Crash out, chat.
I'm dead the fuck serious. Yeah. Sorry, I had to rant about that.
So there you go.
I mean, he's got the ranting like a woman down pack, but
I almost opened with that. Opened with that. It's better than the Kamala one, right?
Are you sure you don't want to just start the stream over and just play Kamala for 2 hours? I'm just saying it was fantastic, Joe. I approve of your decision.
You're not my friend. I'm so glad we failed. I was worried.
I'm so glad we failed. 3 more minutes, Chad. Let's rally.
So glad we failed.
Oh man, yeah. The jawline thing is a dead giveaway. So I thought it was me because I have that crazy.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't you. That was a
Oh.
StreamYard thing.
Oh, so yeah, it would have kicked me out anyway. Then I'm glad I left and came back.
Yeah, no, this was totally a StreamYard thing. All
Damn
of a
it,
sudden,
StreamYard.
I started getting a circle of death.
Yeah,
And
I saw that.
You saw my circle of death.
Yeah, well, you froze completely.
Right.
In a very weird way where your jaw was looking feminine, and I was gonna DM you and be like, "Hey, wait a minute, Joe, do you need to tell me something?" And then, you know, but I StreamYard does it with my internet sometimes, so I just backed out and came back, and you weren't here, and I'm like, "Uh-oh."
That was
They got it.
I really don't think that was on me at all. Like
No, I don't think so. StreamYard's been acting crazy for a week now.
Yeah.
So, you know, it happens, but it did not like you discussing the trans issue. It's a trans mob. Oh, wait. Somebody in the chat just said that YouTube trans mob took you out.
Apparently. Anyway, what I was going to start saying before, I feel like I should get into it because we're 2 hours in, and it's listed as one of the things I'm covering tonight. As I was going to talk about the ongoing elections.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently, Curtis Lewa said he's not dropping out of the race. That's what he said.
Okay.
And Bill Ackman supposedly said there's a reason he's not dropping out of the race. So in case are you familiar with what the mayoral race in New York, which is?
I've been keeping up with it a little bit here and there because I find it hilarious. So
what do you find hilarious about it?
Just all the players, just everybody that's involved in it. Like I'm waiting to see a major disaster. So
yeah, well, it is a major disaster that's happening. There's no question about that. But Bill Ackman supposedly was reporting that there's a reason that Curtis Lewa is refusing to drop out of the race. What?
Somebody said, Sin, tell Joe to do rants. So I think you have some Rumble rants to do.
Do I?
Yeah, I'm a man of the chat.
You are a man of the chat.
I'm simply here to do
Spud
their
says,
bidding.
does the coin come with a matching tracksuit? No, it does not come with a matching tracksuit.
It
should.
Says,
Joe, you missed my other super chat also. Can I get a prayer? I'm going to an interview tomorrow that would keep me home. Oh, I missed that? I'm sorry. I missed a couple of them. I just want to keep sending around to torture him. You're welcome, Sin. That was also from Miss Alien.
07, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I did miss that one. He actually worked very hard to try to keep you here. He gifted 10 Rumble memberships and sent 2 $10 chats. So
look at that.
I'm looking at that as a real vote in your favor. So the second one here where he said he's asking for a prayer, he's going on an interview tomorrow. So I will tell you right now, Uzelian, that I hope that assuming the job is a good fit for you, then it's a place that you can find growth, that you manage to ace your interview tomorrow and go in there strong, go in there confident, get lots of sleep. You probably should be logging off pretty soon. I don't know what time zone you're in, but you should probably be doing that, because that's obviously a lot more important than any entertainment I'm trying to offer up over here. Or that Sin is desperately swinging and missing at. And I urge you to make sure you get your rest and prayers, that your mind has clarity to answer questions in a way that is effective and manages to get you the job of your dreams.
There you go.
Right.
I'll do a prayer for you tonight before I go to bed. So I'll put you on my prayer list.
All right. Well, this is what we got on the Bill Ackman thing, because this was an interesting claim from Bill Ackman. Let me share this out with you guys.
My question is, before we move on over to the Bill Ackman stuff officially, how many times has Sliwa ran? Because he's been a.
This is the closest he's ever gotten towards, this is the highest percentage he's ever. He's never gotten the Republican nomination.
But yeah, you've got what, Cuomo, and then what's his name, Mamdani or something like that.
Yes, Zoran Mamdani.
And Mamdani
is the Democratic nominee. Cuomo is the
who has zero experience ever whatsoever. He's just a meme.
Yeah,
but they're running him.
He's a socialist who's said some wacky things before.
Yeah.
Queer rights means defunding the NYPD. That's
Sliwa, is it bad that I want Cuomo to win? I'm sorry, but I think it would be so funny. I want him to win the race, and then I want him to immediately get kicked out of office. But I just want the meme of him winning.
Yeah. Well, right now it seems like Sliwa has no chance. You look at the numbers. Mamdani is holding at 43.
Yeah.
Cuomo's at 28. And Sliwa's at 19.
Okay. You're saying there's a chance.
That seems as like there's a lot of leftover there, right? That's that's well short of 100. That's like, barely over 85.
Yeah.
But 85%, so I don't know what the hell that means. Those numbers actually mean. Normally you would think that the numbers should bring us up to 97% or something like that.
Yeah, right.
But those are the numbers that I saw. And that's what people are saying. Sliwa needs to drop out, and the hope is that Sliwa's voters will go over to Cuomo. Now, many of my audience will tell me that a lot of Sliwa voters will never vote for Cuomo after what he did during COVID. And that's possibly true. If the choice between him and Mamdani is a socialist. I mean, he was basically saying he wants to open up public supermarkets, that the city will own supermarkets, which is like literally Russia.
That's 100% socialism.
That's exactly what Moscow said. Like, we're going to run this. We'll sell you your bread, and you wait in line. And who did here? So local PD. Well, go get him. Go get him, Muzellian. So I hope you land it. Like, that's what he means, stay home, because otherwise you have to go to like a foreign district in order to. I see what you're saying. Well, go get him. Everyone needs cops. So as long as you're normal, I think you probably should be okay. I assume you're normal. If you're sticking around here as long as you have, you're probably pretty normal. All right. So
you think that's a marker of being normal?
It is. No, it really is.
It's not a cult, though.
Not at all a cult. It's a cult. Besides, he's in the ghetto, so he wouldn't be part of it anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Sliwa has gone on record saying there's no way in hell I'm dropping out of this race. Everyone's screaming at him, drop out, so Cuomo can take down Mamdani, because Mamdani is such a terrifying fear. He's a very big supporter of the Free Palestine movement, and he's pretty much a terrible human being. But I'm talking about Mamdani now. Cuomo's also pretty much a terrible human being, but he's a different type of animal. So this is what Bill Ackman is saying. Billionaire investor Bill Ackman publicly accused Republican New York City mayoral candidate Curtis Sliwa of staying in the race to access approximately $5 million in public matching funds. Citing an anonymous source and confirmed campaign finance records showing over $4.5 million received. The October 22 claim on X drew backlash from conservatives defending Sliwa's lifelong advocacy for the city, amid polls showing Democratic frontrunner Zohran Mamdani at 37%, independent Cuomo at 24%, so that's a lot closer to this poll, and Sliwa at 12%. So ahead of the November 4th, 2025 election. Again, look at these numbers here. So 37 plus 12 is less than 50. You have like 25% of the vote. It's like, where's everyone? Who is this? Who are they voting for? This is literally 75% of the electorate.
I mean,
there are more undecideds than people voting for Cuomo.
Yeah, but look at the options that they have there. I mean, there's probably a lot of people just thinking about sitting it out, right?
But you still answer in the poll. This is who I'm voting for, right?
I guess. I mean, you could just say none of the above, or I haven't decided yet. But do we think
25% undecided is crazy high?
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. That's insane when we're talking about this election being in 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, 100%.
So, and Sliwa's ahead at 12, and Sliwa is 12% ahead of the November 4th, 2025 election. Ackman and Cuomo have pressed Sliwa to withdraw to unify anti-Mamdani votes, while Sliwa vows to contribute campaign for working class New Yorkers. So, the fact that he's spent his whole life working as part of the Guardian Angels, that doesn't mean that he's not motivated by money now. That he doesn't
That
want to
doesn't
give
mean
up
that he's
foreign.
never been motivated by money. That just means that he was doing a good deed at one time.
Right. So Nick Sorter is saying the argument is Curtis Lewa doesn't give a crap about New York City, but Cuomo does. LMAO, alrighty then. No, I think that Lewa probably cares more about New York City than Cuomo does. The question is, can he win? Is he gonna? Does anyone realistically think he's gonna make up 25% that he's behind right now?
No,
Like,
there's no way he can.
how-
Barring a lot of people just saying, you know what, forget these polls. I don't trust them. I'm just going to answer nothing. Right? Barring something like that, and then they're going to go out and vote for him. Yeah, no, there's no way.
Yeah. This is what Ackman wrote. According to my source, the city has an 8-to-1 matching program for New York City donors. Lewa got $5 million in matching funds from the city of his campaign. According to my source, Lewa's wife, friends, and others are on the company campaign payroll, and he and they are enjoying living off city taxpayers who are funding his race/lifestyle. He doesn't want to end his campaign and have to return the funds. Follow the money. When I asked why he doesn't care about New York City, my source said he doesn't give a crap. Clearly, this is hearsay, but my source is extremely credible and a highly respected person. He still knows Lewa, and he knows Lewa well. Curtis, please correct the record if I got anything wrong. What personal or other related expenses is your campaign paying for? Is your wife and or other family or friends on the campaign payroll or receiving any funding? Please clarify the record. So that's Rob Barnes saying this is half-assed libel and isn't helping your cause, Bill. And it may be libel. I don't know. I don't know if there's any truth to his claim at all. I have a grave distrust for someone who says, "Trust me, bro," and can't tell us who the source is. You know, I've seen too much of that.
Yeah.
But really, what it comes down to is, would he have to return the funds? At least this way we know, like, is it possible that this is true? Right?
Yeah. No,
It was an 8-to-1 matching program. So that means he got $5 million in matching funds. So that means that he collected so 1/8 of 5 million is roughly what, 800,000 or so? No,
Yes.
700. No, it'd be 650,000. So if you got an 8-to-1, that would give 5 million matching funds. Okay, so let's ask Grok here. We're going to do the Grok thing. If Sliwa drops,
I'll be right back. Give me 2 seconds.
Yep, out of the mayoral race, is he legally obligated to return the matching funds? I'm not going to trust Grok. Don't worry. I'm telling you now. I'm just going to get the first thought from Grok on this, but I'm going to ask about the statute, like what statute it is. Campaign rules in general are very complicated. Like there's like 6 lawyers in the country who understand campaign finance laws. I've never met a lawyer. I've never met a single lawyer who tells me that they confidently will say to me, "Yeah, I got campaign finance law." Yes, Curtis Lewa would be legally obligated to return the matching funds if he dropped out of the New York City mayoral race. On the New York City Campaign Finance Board's CFB rules, candidates who receive public matching funds must repay them if they fail to appear on the ballot. This includes situations where a candidate voluntarily decides not to run, stops pursuing the candidacy by not submitting required petitions, or is disqualified by the Board of Elections. In such cases, any pre-ballot public funds received must be returned to the NYC Election Campaign Finance Fund, typically by certified check. Even after terminating the campaign via the CFB portal, ongoing obligations remain, including audits, disclosure statements, and ensuring all assets are disposed of with bank accounts closed at zero balance. Failure to repay can result in penalties up to 3 times the amount owed, with the candidate and treasurer jointly liable. For context, Sliwa's campaign has reportedly received around $5 million in matching funds so far. The 2025 election is set for November 4th, and dropping out now would trigger this repayment requirement, as the funds are intended to support qualified ballot campaigns only. So
if he drops out now, even though he knows there's no way for him to win, he's going to have to repay all kinds of the monies, and they don't have it because, well, they've been doling it out to friends and family and whoever else was, quote unquote, working for the campaign.
yeah, I mean, look, I don't know how Robert Barnes knows this is liable, that it's not a factor at all in his decision not to drop out of the race.
That, I mean, it's black and white. There's no way that it's not, because how are they going to repay that money based off of this right here? And I mean, this right here even says that up to 3 times the amount could have to be paid back. It would financially ruin the guy. There's no way. If it was me, if I was running and I knew that I'd been doling out money like that, bro, I'd be in it to the end. There's no way you could give me to. They would like, well, there's no chance. I would keep saying, keep hope alive, baby. Right? It's like me on this stream right now, waiting for super chats to come in. Keep hope alive, baby. That's it.
Yeah. In other words, yeah, I love New York.
Mhm.
I'm not willing to give up $4 million for New York.
Yeah, exactly. Who would?
You know, it's like I love New York.
Yeah.
It's a great city. I'm not giving up $4 million for New York. I don't even think that's like a nefarious statement to say. I don't think that's a negative statement about his character or his person.
It's self-preservation, first of all. And let's say the funds weren't doled out nefariously, right? These people were actually doing their job to run his campaign, no matter if it was nepotism or not.
Exactly. Even if his wife got money,
that
doesn't mean there's anything nefarious in his wife getting money.
So what are you going to do? I would stay in.
You have to. The campaign finance law basically makes you an idiot to drop out.
And if you do, let's say you do drop out and you can't pay it back, now you're facing lawsuits and possible criminal action, all kinds of things.
It's not like it even guarantees that Cuomo would win.
Yeah.
So I could drop out, have to pay $4 million.
Wait, what was Cuomo's percentage right now? Wasn't his 28%?
Well,
and then Mondami was 23.
It depends on.
That's a wide margin right there.
No, so I saw 43 to 28. I saw 15%. There, I'll pull up. I'm going to pull up in this thing here what the New York City.
Wait, Mondami is I don't know how to say that goofy guy's name. The Democrat is
no, you got it right, Mondami.
Yeah, so he's what you said, 48 or 43.
It depends who you ask. I mean, it depends which poll you're looking at.
That's a huge margin between him and Cuomo.
And who's to say that all of them would go over to Cuomo?
They won't.
Oh, they won't. Yeah, he'll be lucky.
That's
to get
impossible.
Of them.
Sliwa's people in New York right now are voting for a Republican because they want a Republican. It's got nothing to do with it's tribalism, is what it is. That's why they're already not voting for Cuomo.
Not
it's
all
a lot
of
of
them.
votes against Mondami.
You're not from New York, so you can't appreciate that. Sliwa has been making a name for himself in New York
since
for
the
many
80s, right?
Yeah, for many decades.
I remember know who he is. I've seen the documentary about him riding subways and stuff with his goofy little beret on.
Yeah. No, I remember the Guardian Angels when I was in high school. They've been around forever.
Yeah.
So, and he was always the Guardian Angels. That was him.
Yeah.
So, and the whole question about vigilantism, and I remember this is before you were born. There's this whole incident with this subway rider named Bernard Goetz who was mugged and shot the mugger.
Oh, I've watched that documentary. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah. So
I didn't mean to derail. Sorry, it is a good documentary about that guy.
Yeah, SNL did a pretty good lampooning of it, where someone was like, they had like a couple on the train. And one of them is like, no, you owe me money. Can you get some change? Yeah. He's like, well, you owe me $5. Well, I only got a 10. Well, let's ask that guy. Maybe you got change. And they asked Bernie Goetz, and it's like, hey, you have change? which is supposedly what the guy he shot said to him. He's like, yeah, I got change. I got lots of change for you. No. So, I can check Real Clear polls. Maybe they'll have something on Real Clear polls. Let's get numbers here as to where they're at. Real Clear politics. Maybe later. Not the polls are worth a damn after we saw that.
The polls haven't been worth a damn since what, 2016?
Since Trump came in, yeah.
Yeah, 2016. Like it's been proven wrong time and time again.
Yeah, I'm trying to see here in this. Oh my gosh. They're giving me all these ads. Okay.
Maybe you should get an ad blocker. Have you ever thought about that? I'm just offering advice to help you, man. I'm here to help.
So here's my Governor Citarelli race, which they say that Cheryl has a 5-point lead, 50 to 45. See how it adds up to 95? That's a normal number to add up to, right?
Okay.
Spamberger has a 6.1 lead, according to this. But I want to see this. Is there a house? I want to see if they have. Can I do a search here? You're gonna let me do a search?
There we go. Wait, is your keyboard a typewriter? That thing is loud.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm waiting for the ding when you get done typing.
It still works. All right. So here are the different. So the Hill has 35 Cuomo, 32 Mamdani, 13 Lander. What? But that was on 6/18, 6/20. What? This is not. These are very old. That's from June. That's the best you can give me?
This is a mess. Yeah, this whole thing is a mess.
What the hell is that?
There's probably a reason for that.
I don't understand that at all. What? 6/18 and 6/20. Why would you? I am excited to see that it's only 5 points for Cheryl. That's a very good sign. This is a very good sign. They're saying that Citarelli can win. They're saying that Citarelli actually has a real chance. Jack Citarelli. Which I don't know why his campaign hasn't reached out to me to help him, because I would help him in a heartbeat. But
I mean,
and what's his face? Scott Pressler. Scott Pressler. I don't know why Scott Pressler hasn't come to me.
They're afraid of success is all it is, right?
I guess. All right. Let's see. New York City mayoral polls. I'll check what the New York Times says. Latest polls.
Let's see. Let's look at these polls, boys.
According to the New York Times, if you believe them, they say it looks like 43, 32, 19. These are the numbers I was telling you about. So with the 19, so this actually equals up. This is Cuomo has a lot more than what I saw. I saw him having 28. 32 is that's within striking distance. So now the thought is, okay, Sliwa would drop out, Cuomo will come in there. If Cuomo drops out, you're not going to get enough people to go over to Sliwa.
No, they're not going to. I mean, anybody that's already voting Sliwa as a Republican is going to stay.
No, the point is anyone who can hold their nose and vote for Cuomo and saying that's my guy over Sliwa is probably not going to be jumping over to Sliwa.
You think?
Like,
so?
why would you take Cuomo when after he killed thousands of elderly? And if you don't hate that about him and you're some stupid lefty, so he was such a pig to women. That's why he lost his governorship.
Do you think it's actually lefties that are a majority of him? voting right now?
No, it's your typical it's your older white liberals.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Old school Democrats, right? That are
Yeah, it's
just.
older white liberals.
I know Cuomo. We'll forgive him for what he did. COVID was just a little wrinkle in his whole thing, right? Like that was
Yeah.
who knew what to do, right? They're holding their nose and doing that. So
Such crap.
yeah,
I knew
so
what
it's
to do.
those old school Democrats. So yeah, they're not going to jump over to Sliwa, and I think the people that are voting for Sliwa aren't going to jump over to Cuomo. They would probably just be, conscientious. What's it called? Yeah, just bow out. They just wouldn't do it. So that's all a mess. That whole thing, the governor race is a mess. Fun to watch for me though, being in the South. So good luck. Way to go, New York.
I'm getting the same feeling when I was getting when I was pulling for McCain over Obama.
Oh no.
I have literally that same feeling. I don't really like this candidate. He's definitely much better than the other jackass. But the swell is towards the other guy. The numbers are looking bad, and I don't see how these numbers are going to. It's like my claim that no, we're going to pull this out is more wishing than living in reality. My gut is telling me like I don't see how Mamdani's going to lose this thing.
It doesn't look like it. They've already memed him. A lot of the young Zoomer voters I've seen, talk about him on Twitter and stuff like that. So not Twitter, but TikTok and stuff. So
yeah.
That's that's what we're going towards when it comes to elections nowadays. So,
but I can hope for Citarelli. I'm an old school guy. I vote on election day. I haven't voted yet, but because I live in Jersey, so I haven't had a chance to cast my vote for Citarelli.
That is a good super chat you just got, by the way.
I'm voting for Cuomo. Killed elders in the past. Mamdani will kill us now. It's better than Sophie's choice. Not much, but it is.
That is a very man. That is a poignant statement right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But when you do that, with the way everything went with COVID, right? You got to sort of keep your head on a swivel now. If he does win, because he did a piss poor job at it and murdered a bunch of people. So
Adrian says, Joe, you can't just threaten to take our sin away. Who do you think you are, Jesus or something? Only Jesus takes away sins. Seriously, though, I really like sin. Please keep bringing him back.
Thank you. I appreciate that vote of confidence. I try my best on this show. I drag Joe to fun is what I do. Kicking and screaming, making him entertaining.
Stop being so boring, Joe.
Now I'm just impressed by the typewriter that you got hooked up to your computer.
Thank you.
You've got 2 screens and an old school typewriter. I don't understand how you have problems ever with your computer.
That was harsh. That was harsh. All right. So there's one last story here. I think this is the last story. That I'm gonna
dazzle me with brilliance here.
I want to ask if you're bothered by this.
Okay. The JD Vance face, yes. If we were going to bring that video back up, yes.
No, actually, no. Before I do that, there was another story I wanted to cover really fast.
All right.
There's 2 stories left. I gotta find the second. The other one that I had. Where was it? That's Somalia. 1.4 million illegals on Medicaid. Not that. I was going to talk about the ICE tracker. I didn't get a chance to talk about that. The Democrats trying to start. I didn't get a chance to talk about that. I had Mike Walsh talking about how Zoran is the first person to try and throw out in a debate a challenge to Cuomo that he never went to a mosque, and he can't name a mosque. He's like, think about that. Have you ever heard a candidate try to call someone out that's something to be ashamed of, that you can't name a mosque that you went to? Like that's a new low that we're at.
Well, that's the thing they're trying to move in. They've been trying to move that sort of stuff into the United States for a while, right?
Yeah. I'm not seeing what I wanted here. Shut up. It's not the typewriter. That's my wheel.
His typewriter was clacking. It's what messed up Grok last night.
That's funny. That's funny. I had a problem with Grok yesterday. I got into a fight with.
You got into a fight with Grok?
Yes, I had a fight with Grok yesterday when I was trying to mathematically prove that evolution is bunk.
You should have cheated on it with ChatGPT. Then ask it how it like that. Maybe Grok would have been nicer next time if you stepped out on it.
Okay, so hold on. Now I gotta find this. Now I'm gonna have to go to X and actually find it. You make conversation as if like you have something interesting to say.
Oh, I mean, it's there's tons of things that I could talk about with the chat. What do we chat? Do we really want to hammer him on his typewriter keyboard? Because I find that to be just so entertaining, just how loud that thing is. And then he always has these problems with his computer. It's baffling to me that he has these issues. But you know, he does this professionally for how many years now, Joe? You've been doing this? Just
I'll tell you that on a scale of 1 to 10, I think you did like 6.5 there.
I'm just nobody was asking you for a scale. I was asking how many years have you been doing?
Oh, I thought that was the question.
No, that was not. No, it wasn't at all.
I thought that was the question. I thought that was the assignment.
Somebody asked where I'm from. I'm from Alabama, Sweet Home Alabama. So roll tide, no war eagle, please. But yeah, we could talk about Alabama facts. That's pretty fun. I mean, it's a great state. We don't deal with a lot of these crazy New York elections. Democrats can't really get a foothold down here right now. So unless you live in Montgomery or Mobile, then stay out of those cities. It's bad. It's real bad.
Definitely put this away. Maybe it's here.
Somebody says low tide. I hope your sister is pretty. Sadly, I had to go outside of the family. I'm in a family of all boys. So it was the trust funds that have been around since the Civil War times will be separated eventually. But what are you going to do, right?
Okay, I'm getting very, very annoyed.
Why is that? What's going on? What's going on, Joe?
There was a whole thing where I think it was, I don't remember if it was MSNBC or CNN, was basically saying that the reason people are not voting for Spamberger is because she's a woman.
Wait, in 2025, why are we?
That's what the news agency was saying. What they omit is that Spamberger is running against a woman. So what the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean?
Well, I mean, what is a woman in 2025, Joe?
In fact, the woman she's running against is the Republican she's running against is a black woman.
Oof. Yeah, I would have pulled the blackface of white supremacy card instead of that one.
It was just an astonishing thing. I'm trying to find it here, and I'm really, really struggling. I don't know why it is that I can't.
Yeah, I'm not finding anything on that.
It's not in my head. Okay.
Did you make it up?
Shut up. It's not in my head. Very frustrated right now.
Do you just have news stories in your head sometime?
Yes, that is. I have a syndrome where it's like I just make up stories in my head, and maybe Jim sent it to me. So I'm gonna give this like another 30 seconds to see if I can find it in Jim's email, because it's not easy to find things in Jim's emails.
I know, right? Like the way he does it, I really wish he would organize it a lot better, right?
There's something wrong with the way he does it. It's just not. It's not the way it's supposed to be done. I love how much he gives. I
don't say how he finds all of it, to be honest with you.
But it's like there's just like he'll give a category. U.S. devastation.
Want a woman in the White House? No, that's from forever ago.
Yes, here it is. Thank you. I don't know why it is I struggle to find this, but okay. Finally, I didn't make this up. It was reported by Tom S. Elliott. And so I'm just going to move this one and bring in the other one. Stop screen. This is so not worth this story is so not worth
all the effort you just put into
oh
it.
my god, it's so not. It's like
It's funny.
seriously, Joe? This is what you wanted?
This is your A game for the end of the show. This is your big home run to send us off into the sunset, Joe.
It really is incredible when you have Abigail Spanberg or Mikey Sherrill, her background, all the different jobs that she has held in the military, and also like Alyssa Slotkin. I mean, my God, these women are incredible. And to them, I would say, fight, because we need them.
Yeah.
We need them. And leading.
And Mikey is like
So this is responding to an op-ed Times, which said the New York Times op-ed in the New York Times said Democrats need to chill about the electability of women. I guess they're upset about the fact that Hillary and Kamala both lost to Trump.
he's doing a ton of interviews.
And
that's got nothing to say about the fact of their personalities and how they ran their campaigns.
yeah, like two of the most hated people ever.
In politics, Kamala was what voted the most unliked in Congress, if I remember
Easily
correctly.
detestable.
Yeah, like the least liked person in all of Congress. So, you know.
Yeah, so this is them getting down to the brass tacks, where she's like, and what she just said here, Mika, is so typical of stupid leftists. This is so aggravating to me. They put such a premium on things that don't matter, and like the resume. Just because someone has had all these jobs, that's what they did with Kamala. Oh, she was a senator. Oh, she was a vice president. Oh, she was a prosecutor. Like all these different. It's like, what did she do in those roles? What did she accomplish in those roles? But they're like, no, because they're like, they put so much premium on a school you attend or a position that you held, that this is what is something that the elites, that's how they value you. They value you based on the fact that you were appointed to a position. It doesn't matter whether you earned it or not. It doesn't matter whether you got there on your knees or whether you or whether you got there. It doesn't matter whether you got there because of DEI. All that matters is you held that position. Oh, the mighty and glorious you, that you managed to attain, that you were designated worthy of holding that prestigious position, whether it's in media, whether it's in politics, whether it's in whatever it is, that you held this position. So we're not going to look at how competent you were in that position, how effective you were in that position. We're just going to say you held that position. In the same way we say you got into this school. So since you got into this school, you're now someone who's special and should be recognized, and you're significant and you're important, and everyone else is the lessers. And how can you not hold her up in high esteem and high regard because Alyssa Slotkin was in the military? It's like, it's nice that she's in the military. Maybe she sucked when she was there. I don't know. Maybe she was decorated, but does that mean that she's competent to do the job that we're looking to hire for here? Does that mean that, she was incredibly competent in that job? Does that mean that we should make her the commissioner of baseball because she was really good at it? Like that, these skills don't translate. This is not. Does that mean you want her to commit? You want her to be doing brain surgery on your mom because she was in the military? She was like, look, she was a senator. So you have to sort of look at what we're looking for from these people and say, does that even compute? You don't know how effective they were. You're putting so much esteem and value in the education that they got or their resume, and not really looking at the level of competence or incompetence that they displayed, the level of integrity or corruption that they displayed. And instead, it's all about what's on their stupid freaking resume. And it's such a childish, immature, and actually a small-minded, insecure way of looking at the world. These are people who, the only reason you come to that conclusion, and this is something I want to share with you, Sin, as well as my audience. Okay,
I'm here.
If I ask you how you know the measure of a man or a woman, you can give me an answer, but there's no answer that is going to be better than mine. I'm telling you now, because the best answer to that question is the measure of a man is how they measure men. Because the way, if someone puts a great deal of stock in someone's popularity, they're going to be like, oh, how popular they are. Someone puts a great deal of stock in money, they're going to be like, oh, how much is in their bank account? If they put in education, they're going to put it there. If they say how good a person that is, then that's what they're valuing. That's what they're aspiring to. That's what they hope for themselves. They're people tell on themselves all the time without realizing it. All you need to do is listen. Just think about what they're saying. Why would you put a value on that unless that's what you regard as something that you should be shooting for? So, that's why if someone is telling me, oh, they were on the cover of Teen Magazine 47 times, that's what makes them so special. I'm like, okay, so you're just telling me that that's what you value. You think that that's really important. If you tell me how many home runs they hit, then you tell me that's what you value. How you measure people, that's revelation into your own heart and mind as to what type of person you are. So if you're measuring someone based on, how many lives they saved, or how many accomplished, or if you can measure someone based on, their character, how much honesty they have. No one's doing that unless they themselves aspire to be honest.
Because when you asked me that question, the first thing that popped in my head was, what are a man's morals and how does he hold to them?
Right.
So,
exactly.
I don't care about celebrity, who you are. I look at men as men. What's your morals and how do you hold those? Right. Like, how do you actually execute those? So,
and invariably, people who are really good people, especially those who are beyond simplistic, who are not immature, and they're going to say something akin to that. That's what they're going to say. It's because they basically, because that's what their heart and mind is. That's what that's how they hope to be remembered.
Yeah, 100%.
And you know how important that is because that's what goes on someone's tombstone.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah, I don't on my tombstone want to be written down as, oh, well, he was a really good live streamer, or he was great at hitting home runs. I want something that's written from my family and friends about who I am and what I actually accomplished, or the good deeds that I did for people. Right.
So that's why when these idiots over here are coming up here and saying, look at her resume, I'm just like, you're a child. You're not a serious person, because you're easily just mind blown by the fact that someone was recognized for positions and think that that's a reason that others should be valuing them. And why should anyone be valuing that? That's stupid.
Your resume doesn't matter to me as a person. It just doesn't. I got into an argument with a lefty on one of my streams one time about you should respect people with doctorates or master's degrees more than you respect the normal person. I said, I don't care about that. I don't care about that at all. And it was a huge argument.
As to one more time, give it to me one more time.
There's a lefty that I stream with, and he said that you should respect people who have gone to college and either have a doctorate or a master's degree more than you do normal people. You should hold them at a higher esteem because of their accomplishment. And I said, I don't care about that. Are they a good person?
Right. Why? All that means is that they were either some combination of intelligence or determined enough to get something done.
Exactly.
To actually 100%. Sit through classes and attend classes or study books.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to me. And the guy was astonished that I said that. I said, there's a guy at a trailer park. I guarantee you I respect more than doctors or lawyers or something like that, because he's a good person trying his hardest and doing the best he can.
Right.
So.
Right. But because you care about that. And I respectfully submit that those are the people who answer the way that you're answering. They actually genuinely care about having a healthier society.
Yes. Yeah.
So
it's do unto others mentality, right? That's just the way I see it.
Yeah. Sin, the gay and trans debate only became an issue after the bank bailouts. When the Tea Party and Occupy Wall Street were united, every corporate took a stance on gay trans issue and divided the country. With the Jedi John here, which I think he changed his name. He used to have a different name, because I recognize the picture. What he's talking about here, whether he knows it or not, is actually touching on after the bank bailouts. So part of the whole bank bailouts changed the structure as to where banks were obligated to invest money, and that part of the deal that the Democrats made, which was thank you Obama, who was so proud of his stupid freaking bank bailouts. And you can blame the Tea Party also, that they were trying to keep the rich, because that's what the bank bailouts out. Just let them fail.
Yeah,
let them fail. Sometimes there's sucky periods in an economy. That's just the way life goes. But the they put in that you have to have environment, governance, and what was the other thing? Climate, environment, and governance as being and creating a scale for and governance. I believe was basically defined as being DEI.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So all of these corporations started getting scaled for when they're being assessed and they're coming in for loans, and all these international corporations, it doesn't matter the industry they're in. It doesn't matter whether it's we're talking about Walmart or Jimmy John's or Pizza Hut or Coca-Cola. They're all like continually like borrowing money and turning money over. So the cost of that money is very important to them. So and the cost of that money, meaning how much interest do they have to pay? The level of interest they have to pay goes down the higher their score is in the CEG, that corporate environment and governance. So climate, environment, and governance. So now they're all trying to show that they deserve and attain a high score. Well, the way they attain a high score is by basically saying we support trans, we support the climate, we support these stupid things, and that's why you end up having a Coca-Cola. The best way to change that, by the way, is not to rewrite the laws. You don't have to rewrite the laws to fix that. You just need to restructure the definitions of what supporting governance is, what supporting healthy governance is, where it's not DEI, it's nothing racist like DEI. If you just flip that on its head, all of a sudden, all these corporations, if you say that climate is not supporting green policies, but that we're not going to be dumping on lands, and that's the type of climate that's going to earn you a high score, and that if you're supporting green policies, that's not something we're going to recognize as being significant. Well, none of these corporations actually care about that crap. They don't care about the trans. They care about their money. And their bottom line ultimately is it pays for them to support trans right now. Well, if you change that little rule, the definition of that rule, all of a sudden now their motivation is, if you say, hey, it's to be against trans, then to protect women in sports, that's what's considered, good social governance. So in that sense, all of a sudden now trans are out.
Yeah. And
all these corporations, all of them are going to stop supporting it. They're being paid. They're being financially motivated to, and it's ever since the bailouts, financially motivated to support this woke agenda. And the quickest way to change it, you don't need to go through Congress. It's really, I think it's a bureaucratic thing where they just redefine what how social governance scores are tilted and snap, assuming they can do that.
And then we don't have to worry about it. If we just promote more of a
you won't need to be talking about Budweiser and their stupid Dylan whatever thing. And all of this crap is gone. All the Target with their stupid, and this, supporting, trans kids and stuff like that. It all ends.
Yeah.
It all ends. It's to me, I think it's the easiest fix. If you don't have to go through Congress and just circumvent them and just take the existing laws and have them turned on their head. And because that's what the left would do. The left is notorious for turning laws on their head. And this is something that I'm hoping that the shrewd minds in Trump's circle figure out to do, because that's how you change the culture of the whole thing. And by the way, it also works for the entertainment industry, because they too are motivated to put out this trans crap and this woke crap and stuff like that.
Well, they're doing it with all the awards, right? You got to have so many black people, so many trans people, or you're not even nominated for the award. So yeah.
Well, that's, I think in general, Hollywood is stupid like that. But I'm saying, as far as at the end of the day, if it's about money, then where they get their access to money and how they're operating. If you control that, you're now basically controlling how the culture will flow.
Got you. Yeah.
Have you been to the Peanut Festival, Sin?
In Dothan, yeah, of course. Also been to the Strawberry Festival, which was one of our congressmen, I forget his name. He was a Democrat, got federal funds to run in his hometown. So that was great. That's all he did for our state.
Sweet.
So, yeah.
I look at kindness and how they treat others.
That's
exactly. It. And you see, and that's reflecting. You're reflecting what you aspire to do. So, yeah. Anyhow, let me just get the rest of this clown show over here.
You know, when I talk to them,
I mean, she literally, it's like, how do I make myself look like a professional clown? I have to have at least 2 colors of, like, you know, bizarrely changing things happening here.
You don't think that looks attractive?
The glasses.
It doesn't make her look like a political
Tulsi does
expert.
it well. Tulsi does it well, but she doesn't have the red hair, which this looks like a fake color. It looks like 2 different fake
All of
colors.
it's fake. Yeah, that's all fake. That's all dyed.
This is not a natural color.
No.
And the eyebrows here are like a 3rd color that's going on here. It's just I don't know what's happening.
I was in the car, you know, was this car, she had gone from interview to interview to talk to, but, you know, you still see the anxiety.
Yeah, Cheryl did have a few missteps in her campaign, but she still has, as you say, about a 5 or 6 point lead per polling. Spanberger's lead in Virginia, a little bigger than that, but, you know, both still competitive races here heading into the last couple of weeks. But to Mika, to Molly's point, I mean, this is something that a lot of Democrats are grappling with right now. Is they've nominated women 2 of the last 3 elections for the presidency, lost both. There are some who say, well, we can't do that again. The stakes are too high. But of course, that does fall into the same misogynistic trap.
So there you go. And they started off by talking about Spanberger, and Spanberger is running against a woman, which is why everyone was like, you guys are just idiots. But it's MSNBC, so I don't think they're meant to be taken seriously.
Not anymore. It's more like comedy. If you just want to laugh, go ahead. Click over to MSNBC.
I'm glad I managed to find that one. And the last thing I'm going to cover with you, I want to get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
I'm going to let you assess how, scale of 1 to 10, how significant do you think this is? And I think that there's a fair there you can make a cogent argument to rank high or low, which is why I think this is an interesting one. I probably should have brought this out earlier. I probably should have, because this is something that people will want to weigh in on. As far as, is this a very significant thing, or is this an inconsequential thing? So let's share this out here. This comes to us from Laura Loomer.
Oh, her nose. That's a significant thing.
I'm very, very mixed on Laura Loomer.
Me too. Yeah.
I think it's really horrible what happened to your staffer today, but you know, it's just shocking. Before you go, perhaps you can just, you know, confirm just very briefly. I know you have to go right now, but you guys saw women dressed in niqab. The only thing you can see were their eyes through the little slits.
Tommy Tuberville is on, and
Tuberville, not Tuberville. It's Tuberville. It's 2 B's. He coached for Auburn. He's an Alabama guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of our reps.
Okay, so Tuberville over here is claiming that he saw on the Senate. He saw in the Senate. He saw a whole bunch of Muslims in the Senate.
And wait, in respects to what though? In which aspect were there a bunch of Muslims just visiting, just in Congress, or
just listen?
And your staffers saw these men praying on the floor of the Senate and washing their feet in the bathroom?
Yeah, they were using the bathroom for a opportunity to prepare for their prayer. You know, and I don't know how they do it in the Muslim countries, but since they have been coming to the United States of America, they stop traffic, they get in Times Square, they do everything they possibly can to showcase what they're doing and who they are. That's the reason they have no fear. And, you know, it's like how they treat women. It's absolutely embarrassing that we would allow some kind of cult like this to come to our country to treat women like this. And for some reason, the far left Democrats, they stand up for these people. And again, if you come here, go by our Constitution, do things right, try to assimilate, I'm fine with it. But if you're going to come over and preach death and how you treat women and marry 3 or 4 different people, I mean, it's that's above and beyond. So I'm with you, Laura. If you keep pushing this, you and I and a lot of others, a few in the House, we're going to make some progress on this, but we cannot give up, because I promise you they're coming. And we got to find some answer to this, and it's going to start in the House, it's going to be in the Senate, and also going to be in the White House, like you said, with President Trump. He understands the situation, but there's so many problems up here right now. We're lucky to be holding on to this country, and thank God President Trump got elected.
So, scale of 1 to 10, how significant do you think this story is?
Oh, to me, I look at it at this point in our country, I want to give it a high rank of about 8 or 9.
Okay.
Because of what they did with Charlie Kirk's prayer.
What does that mean?
Well, they tried to call for a moment of silence or a prayer for Charlie Kirk, and the Democrats said no. They wouldn't let him do it in Congress the day that he was murdered, and now they're allowing Muslims to come in and just pray on the floor of Congress.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that to be disgusting, and I don't like it. So to me, it's about a 9 of importance.
Okay.
It's really showing us a favoritism, if you would say. Also,
so I need to ask you a question.
Mhm.
Based on what you heard there, from what I played for you, that clip, do you think that they were praying on the floor of the Senate or praying on the floor in the Senate building?
Wait, say that again?
Because as I was like listening to this, I was like, wait, where was
Oh,
this
you mean
prayer?
praying, Preying, or
Yeah.
P
In other words, when
R A Y?
Muslims pray, they get out the prayer mat and they get down on the floor.
I was thinking of
and they
separation
kneel.
of church and state. That's the way logically you shouldn't be doing that in the House,
Or the
in the
Senate,
Senate
right?
whatsoever, right? You
So
shouldn't be doing that whatsoever
my
in Congress,
question
right?
is, but do you
But-
understand in this story? Because
He's saying that they
call the Senate, like when you get on the floor of the Senate, it's got a name for that room where the senators sit in.
Yes.
And the people who go up to the front are on the floor of the Senate. So when you hear this story, do you think that the Muslims who are praying, do you picture the Muslims who are praying, that they're
picture
on the
them
floor of
praying
the
on the-
Senate, that special room, in that special place, that's where they're
That's
praying?
what I was thinking, yeah.
Or that they're in the
Praying
Senate.
on the people on the floor.
No, not praying. You're fixating on the word praying. I'm not fixating on the word praying.
You're fixated
Like,
on the word floor now?
like on the floor, because Muslims always pray on the floor.
Yes.
So, but there's a difference between them praying on the floor in the Senate building, outside of the main Senate room where the Senate meets.
They shouldn't be doing it on the grounds. Period.
Or them praying, like literally, there's an added audacity if they're literally on the floor of the Senate.
All right. Okay.
And that's where they basically, this is our house. We're coming into your house, and we're going to basically, let's imagine Muslims didn't pray by bowing down, right? Imagine that their way of praying was that they would stand or sit quietly, right?
Yeah.
So if they were doing that, in that case, and they said they were praying on the floor of the Senate, I would say, okay, so they were praying in that room where the senators all convene. But since Muslims always pray on the floor, so now when I hear this, I don't know if it's that special room, which is a significant room
the special
in American
room doesn't
governance.
matter to me.
And you're saying it doesn't matter if they did
That
it
doesn't matter to me.
If they did it in some senator's office, it wouldn't. Would that bother you?
The privacy of their office, it wouldn't bother me. That.
What about in the hallway right outside?
In public, it would bother me. Yes.
Why is that?
Because I look at the office as that senator's and that state's office. That's their private location, sort of like an embassy inside of. You get what I mean?
Do you think there's a difference between the floor of the Senate and
versus
the
floor of the building?
Yeah, but versus the floor of the building.
No.
You
shouldn't be doing it.
Interesting.
Unless it's in the privacy, and they do have prayer rooms. If you want to go to one of the prayer rooms, go to the prayer room. If you want to do it in a senator's office, go to their office. You should not be doing it in the public because that's the people's building. And at that point, you're now doing the separation of church and state argument, so on and so forth.
So
both floors are equal to me.
To me, there's a dramatic difference between those floors.
Not in my eyes.
I'll explain to you why.
All right.
Because if you go into the Senate, so I understand that's a special building. We know it's a special building because J6 was an insurrection because they go into the Capitol, right?
Yes.
So that's a special building. So really, you're talking about the Capitol, right? So but this is Senator's wing of the Capitol. So now, if you're going in there, okay, I get that that's a significant building, but the reason it's a significant building is because of the Senate floor. And I'd be like, why do you have to pray there? Why are you picking specifically the floor, the Senate floor? Not the Senate building floor, but the floor of the Senate.
I get it. Yeah. Let's not do
the
who's
reason
on
you're
third.
picking the reason you're picking that spot is to make a statement that this is
Agreed.
ours. We're taking this over, and this place is ours. And
Agreed.
since we're out of session now because Congress is on a break, they're basically bankrupt. So because they're taking advantage of that and say, "Oh, we're coming in here, and this is our place, and we're taking the floor of the Senate." To me, that is very different than if you have a bunch of Muslims who are visiting with a senator, and it comes time for their prayer, and they're like, "Hey, we're supposed to pray now, and we don't have time to get to our mosque. Do you mind if we pray here now?" That's like, okay, I can to me, I'm like, that's a much smaller thing because they're not specifically trying to say that we're incorporating Islam into your government your government place, your place of governance.
Okay. I see what you mean. I see why the floor holds more importance to me or to you. But I think that the entire building is equally as important. And I'll give you a for instance here, right? Let's say a gentleman was there on January 6th and they made it into the building, but didn't make it to the floor. And another guy made it to the floor, but and got caught. Are there punishments? Say they did the exact same thing, one just made it to the floor. Is his punishment going to be more significant because he was on the floor of the Senate versus the other guy who was just in the building?
I think so. I would think so.
I don't think so because I think the whole building in and of itself represents our country.
I think you're making a great point because I don't know that the J6 defendants who were wandering in one part of the building versus in the other part of the building were treated very differently.
And I see what you mean by holding that because that's where we're actually making the laws of our country and holding that at a higher respect. But I see the whole building as something that you should not be infiltrating like that. I think it's disrespectful equally.
Right. Well, I to me, I don't think they're equal.
Well, if they're doing it just out in public, right? If they're doing it just out in public.
Yeah, let's say they're doing it right outside the Senate.
I agree with the same. This is still the same point. Is it on the property?
If it's just off the property,
then I have no problem with it.
Then you have no problem with it because it's the property. Because this is interesting.
I see an insurrection as an insurrection. So, in Alabama, we have castle doctor, and my curtilage starts my castle. So
where's my curtilage?
Your curb right there from the edge of the public. Your curtilage, yes. So right there is my property, and I see that as the same importance to me as the interior of my home.
That's a fair point. I can respect that.
Yeah,
I can respect that. But if someone took a whiz on your curb, would you be as angry as if they took a whiz in your in a flower pot in your living room?
Yes. It's my property. Don't peel my property.
Okay. It's interesting.
Yeah, the distance, I just find it equally disrespectful either way. Because I hold that building in, high regard. It's our building. So.
Yeah. This is a very, very interesting thing to me.
I get it, right? To me, I understand where you're coming from to where them actually on the floor of the Senate, you go, well, that's really disrespectful. right? And I can understand that, but to me, it's all disrespectful. You shouldn't be doing it.
I see. I don't think it's as disrespectful. To me, I don't get. I'm not nearly as bothered by it. And maybe that's because I don't know.
I think we view the building differently.
No, it's not viewing the building differently. It's almost like, if someone was in labor and they're giving birth, I wouldn't be mad at them for giving birth there.
That's
right?
a totally different scenario.
Well, hold on a second.
Okay.
Let me just. I'm making a point. I understand
Gotcha.
different.
Go ahead.
I understand it's a different scenario. But the point that I'm getting at is to someone who is devout about their prayer.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, look, this is the time I need to pray. So wherever I am, I'm going to stop what I'm doing. I'm going to pray. Doesn't matter if I'm on the road, if I'm in a restaurant, if I'm in a mall, if I'm in the Capitol, wherever it is that I am, it's my time. I need to pray at this time. This is when I have to talk to God. God takes precedence over you and anything else. And I'm going to pray now.
Yeah.
So I can understand. I can understand that much as someone was giving birth has to give birth now.
Yeah, I get that. But much as giving birth.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, go ahead.
The difference that you can draw is that you're going to have this time. It's going to come at 2:00 is when you're going to want to pray or whatever time is this thing is happening. And at childbirth, you don't know when that's going to strike any time.
And if your
So
faith is
you can't plan
important,
ahead.
If your faith is important, and I don't know any faith that says let me infringe on other people's rights, even the Muslims or Islam says, hey, that's not what we that's not what we are doing, even though that's not how they act. We all know that, right?
And this calls to mind what Felser's question is: would you have the same issue with a Christian or a Jew praying?
Yes.
So if you saw a Christian who is
doing it for some sort of political action,
it's not political action.
Well, like protest sort of thing, like to.
I don't think these Muslims were acting out of protest. I don't have any reason to think.
I don't know how I'm explaining. I don't know how to explain it properly. My brain words aren't going to my mouth properly. If they're doing it for a show, right? Like we're gonna go in and do this. Yeah.
Well, I agree with you. If the objective is we're going to go in there specifically at this time because we want to specifically do our prayers in there.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is if they're there, but if they're there for a legitimate reason, and then that prayer time comes, to me, it's like
something happened, and all of a sudden you got to pray. Yeah, I would look past that. Yeah, I agree with you.
I'm not saying something happened, but I'm saying is that it's like, look, I need to be in this place. I let's say you have a Muslim who works in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and he's a devout Muslim. Whether he's working in that building or working in any building, he's going to pray 5 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me that because he's in that building, then now he can't do his prayer there?
No. I'm not. That's a completely different scenario, right?
Why is that
I don't
different?
think these guys were doing that, right? If you're a Muslim and you're working in a business and you don't have time to stop and go to a prayer room or go to a private room, whatever, and you need to pray, yeah, I would look past that. That wouldn't bother me. But if you're trying to do it for a show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To make a statement of some sort, like we're all going to go in here and pray on the floor. No, I don't like that.
I'm on the same page as you. If the objective is to make a statement, and that's why I make a big difference between the 5th floor of the building and the floor of the Senate.
Yes.
To me, because when you're doing it on the floor of the Senate, the only reason you're doing it there is to make a statement.
Is to make a statement, and that's
when they're doing it on the 5th floor of the building, I'm like, okay, there's a lot of things that could have happened. Maybe the only time they get him,
one guy versus a group of them.
What I'm saying is, let's say this group only had an opportunity. It's not like people get to choose when they're going to meet a senator, right?
Yeah.
So if the senator says, "Look, I only have a slot available for you from 3 to 3:15, so come in here," and they're like, "Well, at 3:20 is when we need to do our prayers. What are we supposed to do? Should we not meet the senator? What should we do?" What would you tell them? What would you tell them to do? Skip out on the senator or skip out on talking to God?
If my faith called for a certain time for me to pray and I needed to go wash my feet in the bathroom and do all these other things, I would say that senator is way less important than my faith.
Okay. But they figure they can do both.
If they figure they can do both and it's a one-off scenario, then fine, no harm, no foul. But if they're
Right.
doing it for a show or something of that nature, then
And that's what
no.
I'm saying is if the
Yeah.
objective is to make a statement that, hey,
And do
we're
we
gonna
know that though? That's my question because
I don't know.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that's why to me, when I heard this story, I was like, first and foremost, I need to find out whether this was on the floor of the Senate. Because if it was on the floor of the Senate, there's no possible explanation other than they're trying to make a statement. And I agree with you that if the objective is to make a statement, I don't care if it's a Christian, Jew, Muslim, or Buddhist, or whatever it is, that is wrong. And that is something that we should be like, what the F is happening here, that this was allowed and these people should, be excoriated. But if the objective is that, hey, they're meeting with a senator, that this is the one opportunity they had to sit down with Ted Cruz or Tommy Tuberville or whomever it is, or Lisa Slotkin, and now that's the time that they got allotted, and that's their time to pray is coming up 3 minutes after it's over, and that's what they consider their last window to talk to God. I'm like, I don't have that much of a problem with it.
No, neither do I. But also, if it was me, I would be like, "Nah, sorry, Senator. My God's more important than you."
Right.
Okay, bye.
Right. And I think that's probably that might be what happened.
Which leads me to it being a show or a
know.
statement.
It could be. Nicole says, thanks for a great birthday stream, guys. By the way, did we get enough to keep Sin? I'll pitch in. Your sense of humor makes up for your crappy taste in football teams. Just wait, who's your football team?
Alabama. Roll Tide. So they got a Gator there, so they're obviously a Florida fan. I'm sorry. But yeah, happy birthday.
Did we get there? Let me see where we're at. Well, we got 3 out of 15. But I said I was going to count 5 more for that. And since then, I think I would say we probably got another 3. I think we're probably about $40 short. But it's okay. I'm Christian prayer at the start of the day at every Congress. Do you have a problem with
that? Yeah, I kind of do.
Because that's the same person who's asking me to have the same problem with Jews or Christian praying.
Yeah, I kind of do.
See, and I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that.
If they're doing it, look again. If they're doing it in private,
I do think Christianity is different, and the reason I think Christianity is different, which might sound ironic coming from an Orthodox Jew, the reason it likely does. The reason I think that's different is because we are a Christian nation. America is a Christian nation. I mean, it was founded by folks who believed in Christianity. Having religious tolerance in ways that far exceeded any other nation had is an amazing blessing that those religious Christians offered to people of other faiths. And that's a kindness. That's a welcoming into their home.
Yeah.
Christians are that's not a small thing. That's not a small thing. That's when I say that's not a small thing, it's not just not a small thing. It's unique in that no one had ever done or thought or even considered doing something like that to that extent in history, in human history. It had never happened. So that type of enlightenment, that type of graciousness, does that mean now I should be like, well, now you can't pray? I have to recognize, what your origin is, what your background is, and I'm going to say, so now that you're extending that gratitude, that grace to me, so now I'm going to stop you from praying here unless you allow me to take over and pray in a Jewish way. I'm like, no, that doesn't make any sense at all. It's like I feel like it's like how dare you? Like actually, start telling people, start telling a Christian nation that they can't pray in their own government building. And quite the contrary, I think that if governance is tempered with religion, I think it's likely a healthier governance rather than if they just reject God altogether.
Yeah. I mean, but I think my opinion would be hypocritical if I just said, yeah, no.
You see, but you're afraid of that. You're afraid of that.
I'm not afraid of it. I'm just holding to my principles.
I think Felzu is like, well, what would you say if it's Christianity? And I'm saying to you, no, you should say Christianity is different. Don't be afraid to say Christianity.
I'm not afraid of it, but I'm also not supposed to be a hypocrite
But it's not hypocrisy.
And another thing is, I mean,
it's not hypocrisy
Christianity
because
calls
Christianity
you
is
to keep your
different.
prayers private. You're not
Okay.
supposed to make a show of them.
Okay, that's
What is
true.
it? You should hide them under a bush.
Well, that is a distinction that Christianity has. I mean,
So I'm sorry, but if I'm a man of faith, I'm not going to sit there, and I don't like to do the full public prayers to make a show of it, because I think they're also making a show of it.
Right.
My prayer should be quiet and silent between me and God. And I think I would be a hypocrite if I was like, well, the Muslims, because they like the Allahu Akbar stuff, I don't like what their religion does. I just don't. I don't think so. I just don't. I can't meet it. I can't be a hypocrite because I'm a Christian, and my faith calls to be more kind and does more charity and less suicide bombings.
Right. There's definitely less suicide bombings.
Yeah, I would say tons.
I don't know statistically on the other areas. You're right, but on the less suicide bombings, Christianity certainly certainly
this
wins
is a
hands
Christian
down.
country. I agree with that 100%, and I think we have the country that we have because of our Christian values have led us that way, right?
Yeah.
And that's beautiful. That's wonderful, and we should hold fast to that. But if I'm going to hold other people up to a standard, I have to hold myself up to a standard. So, and also, again, my faith calls me to keep my prayers private. So,
but is that what all Christians believe? I mean, you have mass.
No, but not all Christians follow everything that's in the Bible. I mean, I'm not going to go back to the Baptist argument that we had like the first time I was here. Can we please not do that? I mean, that's why there's so many different denominations. But
right. I know I woke up Lady Logic. She was sleeping. Now she's up.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna start landing my plane here.
All right.
So, because I think she's trying to go back to sleep now. So, yeah, this was I'd love to get your thoughts though. I've been checking the chat, and there seems to be a lot of different mix here. As I think this is a really interesting. It's a really interesting thought.
It's a very interesting conversation.
It is, right? Like you finally got an interesting one. You're like, now you're cutting us off, Joe? Now? Wellesley says they've been praying on the same floor since 1789. Does not make this situation okay, though. And I walked you through why. Because I think it's an unfair thing to what has happened is because in part of wokeism. It used to be everyone just understood that this is a Christian country. It used to be something that's just sort of baked into the pie, and everyone understands that's part of American pie, is that it's a Christian country. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's nothing to be embarrassed. Quite the contrary. Quite the contrary.
Yeah.
Those Christians, those Christian founders were incredible men. And they're an incredible reflection on Christianity, on what good Christians can be. So you should be proud of it being a Christian nation.
Yeah, 100%.
But what happened somewhere along the way, and this certainly is over the last, I think it's somewhere over the course of my lifetime, is so it's not necessarily that recent. I don't know, it's the last 10 years or so, but certainly over the last, I think 30. I think it really was. It might have started as early as the 90s. There was this sort of thing like it's an embarrassment to say that it's a Christian nation. It used to be everyone was like, of course it's a Christian nation. But now it's a matter of like, no, why would you say that?
Yeah, 100%.
Like that seems exclusionary or that there's something wrong with it. And I think we should all, I have no problem with that being something that there's a return of.
Mm-hmm.
Provided that it sticks with First Amendment principles of there being complete tolerance for other religions. But complete tolerance doesn't mean that you're going to be doing the same. I don't believe in the whole separation of church and state the way it's been defined. Even by the Supreme
No.
Court.
We've had this conversation, I think, the first time I was on, because we discussed Charlie Kirk. The separation of church and state was not meant that you're not allowed to pray in Congress, but it was the fact that there will be no state religion.
Exactly. So, and that's in order to protect that other religions wouldn't become persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't mean that that now the same, it's a similar thing, the same way that they tried denying it's a Christian nation. It's the same thing like saying, or that, there shouldn't be any recognition of that.
Yes.
And it's the same way that they're trampling on white men.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's the same voice. It's the same concept. That leads to A is what leads to B. It's like, and I wonder if Christianity in a certain way beckons for it because of the constant, like, tearing of our, sackcloth, that it's like, that there's a birth in sin, like, I wonder if that's part of it, and if that's used to feed into this notion that there's something inherently wrong with you, which is, which I actually think is likely a perversion of what Christianity is intended to be.
Agreed.
Look at me, the Ortho, trying to help you Christians stand up.
Trying to spurn us Christians to a revolution in this country. Yeah, no,
I'm not saying have a revolution. I'm just saying,
do it. Let's take it back, everybody.
I'm saying stand up on your own 2 feet.
2.0. Let's do it.
Right.
No, I agree with you 100%. I do think we need to get back to a lot of our founding morals in Christianity. If we don't, we're in trouble.
And while I say this, I don't know if I ever weighed in on this. There was a whole thing that was going on probably like 6 months ago or so, where there was this thing about saying Jesus is that they wanted everyone to basically saying that Jesus is king. And
Christ is king. Yeah.
Right. And that to me sounded like just like, the 2025 version of Black Lives Matter. It's like, say it. If you don't say it, there's something wrong with you. I was like,
I get it. I disagree with you, but I get it.
What I'm saying is that I'll tell you this. It's like, as an Orthodox Jew, I can tell you that I have no problem, and I think that we should return to a notion that America is a Christian nation. But I did have a problem with that, because that's almost like saying, like, if you don't say it, you're not one of us, you're an outsider, and you're basically, there's something wrong with you, and we should shun you. That was the implication.
We should have a conversation one night on stream about Judeo-Christian values and why you should say Christ is king.
Oh,
not tonight. It's too late. We've been going.
We're definitely not doing that. And I'll tell you right now, if you're gonna try and missionize me,
I'm not going to try to missionize you. I'm just saying
that's what you're basically saying.
No.
I'm not.
I'll lay out the reasons why. But no, we should have a conversation about Judeo-Christianity, and
I've had conversations
with Grog,
with Steve Gosney, who's a very religious, and with Lawn Lumber, Rob from Lawn Lumber, both who are devout Catholics, about Christianity.
Well, never argued with a Baptist, so
that's true. Yeah. That's true. We weren't really arguing. It was more a matter of discussion about differences and similarities in cultures. But all right. Tell people where they can find you before I get out of here.
F.F.S, all capital letters, podcast on YouTube. You can also follow my Twitters. If you want updates on the new puppy, Cody, he is on there, and that is at Ambient Aristotle. We stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Pop culture, what's in the news, some politics. Like I said, Monday we covered legal mindsets crash out, so go check that video out. One more statement before we go. The landing page has no content on it because I haven't figured out what's the most popular stuff to put on there. So it will. I'm getting it together. I'm getting my editor to put something together on there. But there is content. There's videos and live streams. So go check it out.
All right. And I urge you to check out goodlawgic.locals.com so you always know where and when you can find me and all that other good stuff. You know what they say, lab meat is meant for they, them. It's definitely not meant for you. I would love if you can weigh in, by the way, if you're still here and didn't click off when you saw me winding down. Weigh in with a comment about what you think about this whole Muslim in the Senate. It was not on the floor of the Senate. I'm hearing conflicting reports as to whether it was in the lobby or in a senator's office. I'm seeing different claims on that, but certainly it seems as if they use a public bathroom to wash their feet, and I can understand people think that's gross. I mean, I can understand that. That's like, what the hell, like, dude, that's not cool. But let me know your comments on your thoughts on that. Do you think that this is terrible wrong, or it's like, no, it's not a real biggie? And do you think that Christians should be able to pray in this sense? Do you think that it's a good thing or bad thing? I try to check out the comments. I might not always respond, but I do try to check them out. And do not eat the bugs. Don't do it. Don't eat the bugs. Have a good night, everyone. And as always, Godspeed.